U.S. and Iran were read by U.S. officials after President Trump wrapped up at the G7 summit. 14 points include a 60-day ceasefire extension, resumed talks, and reopens the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump was asked about $300 billion in frozen Iranian funds that could be released.
If they're doing things right, if people want to invest, they can invest. But they had this $300 million fund. It's only $300 billion fund. It's only if they're doing things right.
The Federal Reserve Board moving to leave interest rates unchanged following the first meeting with Kevin Warsh as the new Fed chair. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has more.
This is a decision that is dramatic in that you see the Fed, at least half of the Fed officials who are forecasting interest rates now say that they do expect rates to be going up so far this year.
Evacuations continuing in Washington state near Spokane as crews battle a fast-moving wildfire. This is ABC News. In New York, a judge sentenced Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann to life in prison without the possibility of parole. It was in line with a plea deal that the 62-year-old made with prosecutors, pleading guilty to the murders of 8 women starting in the 1990s, the majority of women sex workers that Heuermann lured to the Long Island beach, killing them and dumping their bodies. More from ABC's Aaron Katursky.
He was first identified as a suspect in 2022 thanks to his distinctive vehicle, and he was arrested the next year after his DNA was retrieved from pizza crust in the trash outside his office. Since then, the sheriff here told us Heuermann has been reading books about other murders and has corresponded with at least one other killer.
As part of the plea deal, Heuermann will also agree to meet with the FBI's behavioral team. A private jet headed from the Mexico border to Austin, Texas, crash landed last night before reaching its destination, killing 1 person. There were 5 others on board. 3 of them, authorities say, were teenagers. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Seattle City Light customers face more rate hikes. Details coming right up. But first, a check on your traffic brought to you by LeMay, America's Car Museum. In Monroe, eastbound 2 at Frylands Boulevard, just before you get into downtown, the collision blocks 2 left lanes, so only the right turn lane is getting through. There's a 2-mile bumper-to-bumper backup starting near Roosevelt Road. If you're heading into Seattle, South 5, we're crowded from Northgate across the Ship Canal Bridge. North 5, scattered slowing from the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Nothing heavy here. In Renton, northbound 167, it is packed from 180th up to 405, just volume. And if you're cruising through Lacey, South 5, there's about a 2-mile backup starting near Marvin Road from an earlier collision. Tacoma to Olympia, you've got about a 15 to 20-minute delay. Give time this Father's Day at LeMay, America's Car Museum. Enjoy hundreds of cars, racing simulators, kids' activities, and the new cafe. Make memories that last at americascarmuseum.org.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Seattle City Light is asking for back-to-back rate hikes of 9.5% in both 2027 and 2028. The utility released its 6-year strategic plan to the City Council today, citing aging infrastructure, rising costs, and growing electricity demand from EVs and electric heating. If approved, the rate hike means a typical residential customer would pay about $10 more a month each year. The plan also expands financial help to about 30,000 more low-income customers, and it also creates a new rate class for large data centers. The City Council is expected to vote on the plan this summer. Washington's first major wildfire of the season is burning in Spokane County. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the fast-moving fire is threatening hundreds of homes.
Ahmad lives just 5 miles away from the upriver fire, watching it scorch about 300 acres so far, only 10% contained.
I can see the smoke. I don't see it right now because the wind has shifted, but yesterday I could see this white, gray plume of smoke. It looked pretty ominous. I can hear the airplanes and helicopters going over my house, heading in that direction, that are fighting the fire.
No word yet on where or how the fire started just outside of Spokane. Whole neighborhoods are now being told to evacuate. Ahmad is ready to go if he has to. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
All trails on Mount Si near North Bend are closed today after a bear attacked 3 teenagers. The 3 teen hikers tell KIRO 7 TV near the summit of Mount Si, the bear charged and they scattered. One sprained his ankle running. One told a passerby afterward the bear swatted his legs several times.
The bear scratched him up. His extremities, his whole legs were scratched up. He could really barely walk.
A second group of hikers also said they were followed by a black bear on Mount Si that day, but there was no contact. According to Fish and Wildlife, the last recorded bear attack with injuries was back in 2022. 6 people are in jail after a major human trafficking sting on Seattle's Aurora Avenue. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports.
Seattle police say 10 women and 3 minors were found being sexually and financially exploited along this area over the weekend. Those victims were helped by the county's Human Services Department. That way they could get a safe place to stay and get basic needs provided. They say the 6 people arrested are now charged with felony offenses. This is an increased effort by SPD during the World Cup as well. The King County Prosecutor's Office says they anticipate the buying and selling of sex will increase as people from all over the world visit Seattle.
And if you're visiting Seattle today, let's check out that weather. It's mostly sunny. In fact, it's sunny into the next week. Temps will bounce between the mid-70s and low 80s through the weekend. 75 today, sunny and 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jake Skorheim, sitting alongside Spike O'Neill.
Hey, buddy.
Got another great show today.
This is what a day. What a day. Glorious weather outside. City's on full display.
We were already outside, you and I, doing our soccer drills, talking about
Getting
soccer.
in the spirit of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making videos. Lots of fun.
Got the fever.
We do have the fever. Yep. And it's a fever you want to catch. It's a lot of fun. We're having a Team US taking on. This is not going to be a World Cup centric show today. We had a lot of it yesterday. We're just going to barely touch on it today, but I am excited for Friday. That will be fun. All right, here's something I'm not excited about. Bear attacks. They scare the heck out of me, and they should scare you as well, but to what extent, we will get into in just a moment.
Hey, he's back, everybody!
Big Bear chase! What does he say?
What? Big Bear chase me!
That was from?
Great Outdoors.
There you go. John Candy running from a grizzly bear.
Grizzly. Was he bald?
Bald.
Right?
Bear. The bald. Then he shoots him in the butt and he gets bald. Anyway,
why are you looking at me?
I thought come on, you got this useless information
let's
better than I
welcome
do.
you onto the show. The audience will have no clue who we're talking to. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio reporter, joins us now. Luke, there was a bear attack on Mount Si.
Yes.
Everybody's discussing this and how to avoid such a thing, but give us some of the details. What happened?
This is a trail that we all have taken probably at some point. I mean,
I've hiked it.
Yeah, I've hiked it several times. People listening, I'm sure, have hiked Mount Si. It's pretty close to the city, very popular. So all trails on Mount Si right now near North Bend are closed right now. Fish and Wildlife officers are out there right now still searching for this bear that apparently attacked 3 hikers, teenagers, all 3 of them. They were about almost 3 miles up the trail near the summit when they say a bear charged them and they scattered. It could have been a situation with a mama bear and cubs, and so that's what happened.
Likely was mama bear,
right?
Cubs.
Absolutely.
One of those hikers.
Black bear attacks are so rare,
They are.
But go ahead.
No, they are. One of the hikers injured himself, spraining his ankle, running away. Another victim told a passerby well after the attack, this is what happened.
He said that the bear kept after him and that it kept swatting at him.
Yeah, that passerby also told KIRO 7 TV that one victim looked pretty bad walking down.
The bear scratched him up. He his extremities, his whole legs were scratched up. He could really barely walk.
Yeah, so to your point, according to Fish and Wildlife, the last recorded bear attack with injuries in our area was back in 2022. They're extremely rare.
And just think about all of the outdoorsing that people do. I don't even know if that's a word, but think about all the time that people spend out of doors on hiking trails. We're kind of known for it here, and still, the last attack is 4 years ago. So your odds of being attacked by the bear. I actually looked this up. Do you guys know the odds of being attacked by a bear?
I know they decrease greatly if you stay on your couch.
That's true.
The number of bear attacks in my living room are still at 0.
You just heard a clip from Great Outdoors. That was in his house.
0. By the way, it was Jody, the bald-headed bear.
Was it really?
The guy looked it up. The character was Jody, the bald-headed bear.
Who I think might have been at that local wildlife farm. Do you remember the one out by Squim?
Really?
I could be wrong about that, but I think
Wilderness Track, is that at the
Was that Bart the bear?
That was Bart. Bart was the actor who played Jody, the bald-headed bear, yes.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so the odds of getting attacked by a bear are 1 in 2.1 million. which is pretty good odds, actually. And the odds, like for comparison, your odds of being struck by lightning in your lifetime, 1 in 15,000.
Oh.
So you have a much higher likelihood of being struck down from the heavens than being attacked by a bear. And yet, when you go outside, you probably don't think, like when it's stormy, you probably don't think, I'm going to not go outside because I'm going to get struck by lightning. It just probably doesn't cross your mind, but you're like way more likely for that to happen than to be attacked by a bear.
You know, if you're out there in the wilderness, what we think of the wilderness, I don't think a lot of people think Mount Si is.
No,
it is.
I've hiked Mount Si.
Right.
I mean, look at me.
Well, no, you look good. But
I would mistake him
way
for a
out
bear,
there,
right?
Way out there, like if you're at Glacier National Park, for instance, you might, you don't feel so stupid doing it, but maybe we need to do that now here on Mount Si too when you're hiking along, saying, "Hey bear, every 15 seconds,
you take
ringing
bells,
a bell and stuff like that, so you don't
whistles.
surprise the bear.
You bring bear spray.
Do you guys bring bear spray when you go on hikes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do too.
No matter where.
I haven't actually. I haven't been on a hike from. It's got to be 20 years since I hit Mount Si. My old partner Bob Rivers lived in Mount Si and used to run Mount Si Trail on a regular basis. That and Rattlesnake Ridge.
Sure.
And he was he was a bear spray kind of guy. But I hiked with a slower guy. The greatest defense against bear attacks is a fat hiker buddy.
Yeah.
And Downtown Joe, I love you, but I don't have to be faster than the bear. To be faster than Downtown Joe. And it worked every time. You said that they're searching for the bear. This was a mother, and they suspect that these hikers came between the mother and her cubs. Well, that's what bears do.
Yeah.
And this is the time of year when cubs come out of hibernation and they're learning and following their moms for the period of time that they learn to be self-sufficient and forage. This is when hikers come across bears. So if they find this bear, will the bear be put down?
I don't know, and I hope. Part of me thinks I hope not, but there is this to consider. Well, at least
once it's tasted blood.
Yeah,
I mean, he scratched these. I mean, no disrespect to the kids, and I'm glad they're all going to be okay. Yeah. But it's not like this bear mauled somebody. This bear scratched somebody and was, in defense of its.
Yeah, it could have been way worse.
Yes. And the kid who sprained his ankle running, okay.
And that doesn't count as a bear attack.
No.
That's a kid who sprained his ankle.
And
it could have happened anywhere.
Unfortunately, there have been cases of, we've heard about this, like mountain lions, for instance, attacking people mountain biking on Forest Service roads.
Remember the ladies?
Because they're on their bike. It looks like they're prey. And these, I believe in this one case, there were 2 mountain lions. They were adolescents. The theory was that mom died. So they didn't learn not to
attack old ladies on bikes.
Right. And so unfortunately in that case, once they have a taste for that.
But that's a predatory carnivore.
This to me felt like I felt defensive of the bear.
My cubs are around. Don't mess. Yeah.
It's what anybody would do for their kids.
Quite frankly, we're encroaching on their territory in a lot of circumstances as well.
With the urban growth and sprawl in every direction as you move further away from the city centers.
Yeah,
that's been a long estabrished hiking trail though. That bear should have known better.
True.
The bear should have known better.
Joke.
Were there teenage hiker signs posted to warn the bear? To be fair. Right, got to warn both sides.
So there is a site that you can go to. I don't know if we can punch this up from. This is a big ask, but on my X account, I actually put these maps up of just to kind of show. You can go to like Woodland Park Zoo. They have a site where you can post black bear and other animal sightings. So it was interesting. I went there today.
So you can let people know. Be aware.
Yeah. So I just looked in the past year. And it shows you representative black dots everywhere. Those dots of sightings of black bear pop up, amazingly, in city limits or really close to, like on Cougar Mountain, Tiger Mountain.
As
really
we build
close
communities into these wooded areas.
Into their areas, and they probably feed off of bird feeders and things like that.
Some bears. Why are they coming down into the neighborhoods? They're not. Your neighborhoods came into their territorial areas.
And then when you then click on and include mountain lions and then bobcats especially into that, bobcats are like they're in Bellevue itself.
Bobcats are
everywhere.
Yeah, they got a real bobcat problem there in Bellevue. Have you guys ever had any encounters with bears yourselves?
No. I mean, we were at Glacier. You mentioned Glacier National Park. We spotted one, from a hiking trail.
Yeah.
And we were with a guide, and like, no, we're going to turn. We're going to go back. We're not going to go anywhere near this because that was probably. I don't know if it was a brown bear or a grizzly, but it's probably a brown bear.
I guarantee you it was not a grizzly because you would not be here today if it was.
Well,
a grizzly.
we're talking about
this is a tasty morsel. He would have eaten you.
I'm the slow guy in that hiking, but yes.
How far away was he?
300 yards probably.
That bear would have closed that in 10 seconds.
Yeah, they run faster.
Those
and
grizzlies are
climb faster. Yeah.
And they go faster uphill. So you think you're running away, and they go faster, or up a tree. Bears just go right up a tree.
Well, there is that saying: if it's black, speaking of bear, if it's black, fight back, right? If it's brown, lay down, and if it's white, good night.
Yep.
Polar bear, even faster,
You're
and
done.
Yeah, you're just done.
What's the one about panda?
And then there was someone else in here that asked me, "What about a panda bear?" And here's what ChatGPT said. Not to make light of the situation, even though we are right now. If it's a panda, stand still. It's probably busy judging your life choices. If it's a panda, hand over the bamboo and nobody gets embarrassed. And then finally, if it's a panda, wait around. They'll likely fall over before you do.
I saw this. There's like a meme video going around, and it's like, how did these guys ever survive in the wild? And it's just a picture of a panda in a zoo, sitting on a seat, and he sneezes and he falls off the seat. And you're like, how did these guys? Because they're so adorable.
Yeah, what do you
I
trap
would feel
them with?
very confident with a panda sleeping in my child's bedroom. I don't even know if that's. I just don't feel like they would do anything, and they'd probably be cuddly.
It'd be cute.
Yeah,
You sit there
I'd hire one as a nanny. Sure.
Yeah.
Chances are you're not going to see a panda bear on Mount Si or anywhere else. If you do, take some photos and send them into KIRO News Radio.
The injured youths are going to be okay.
You'll be fine.
So there was a rescue crew training at the summit of Mount Si when this particular attack happened.
When it happened,
that's fortuitous.
Lucky, and thank goodness, because this could have been a lot worse, right? The Fish and Wildlife do recommend, if you do encounter a black bear, at least, back away slowly. Talk to the bear in some low tones. Don't keep your eye off the bear, but don't make eye contact either. But, whatever you do, don't run. Don't do that. But also, they recommend carrying bear spray. Yeah. And you got to know how to use it as well. But that's a key.
Point away from your face.
I always carry a
downwind if you can.
Yeah, I usually hike with a backpack because I'm always carrying stuff for. There's always
you're the Sherpa.
Juices,
Family
and diapers,
Sherpa.
and all the different stuff. Like everything that a bear would love, I have in a backpack.
Juice boxes,
but I have
fruit roll-ups.
Yeah, I have a little case, like a little strap right here right by my shoulder, where I keep spray, and on the other side I keep a big knife. I don't even know what I would do with the knife. I just feel better having a big knife when you're hiking, and that's not even for a bear so much.
Stick.
There's weird people out there too.
That's true.
And you just got to protect yourself because you're more likely to run into a weird person than you are a bear.
Does the website that you quoted for bear sightings, or is it an ex post? Do they identify scat? Because people, they can tell what kind of bear it is from scat.
Oh, I thought you meant like the musical styling.
No, bear scat. They little pellets, or they're pellets, or there's piles, and you can tell grizzly scat because it's got bells and spray cans inside of it.
That was all a setup.
I was wondering where that was going.
Come on.
Research. Look up.
Nice to laugh.
And I was going to sit here and say, reporter me does know that the paw prints are different.
Do yourselves a favor.
Claws.
Look up Ron White's joke about grizzly attack.
That's funny.
It is a classic piece of comedy.
We were a couple of years ago. We were in Yellowstone, and we were going to go on a hike. We were at. I was with the family. I'm trying to remember how many kids I had at the time. Maybe just 2. So this is like maybe 5-6 years ago. And we get to a trail ahead, and we leave the car, and we're probably 200 yards in, and there's this big sign, probably like the ones that you're seeing on Mount Si right now, that says there has been but this was a grizzly sighting.
Right.
There's been a grizzly sighting, and we all kind of look at each other. We're just like, nope. Because have you guys seen The Edge? You know the movie The Edge? Anthony Hopkins,
Hopkins
Alec Baldwin.
And Baldwin. Yeah.
In Alaska, plane crashes in Alaska, and then they have to survive, and there's a giant grizzly. Have you not seen this movie?
No, I'm going to now.
Oh my gosh. It'll basically do for the woods what Jaws does for the water.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
It's very, very good. It's very compelling.
Seen The Revenant?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that one, right? That's
story.
grizzly attack.
That is scary.
I was at Yellowstone once, and this grizzly. I didn't see this part happen, but everyone had stopped their cars. This is years and years ago, and this grizzly had grabbed a baby elk. And what do you call a baby elk? I don't even know.
I feel like that's a punchline setup.
And grabbed it and brought it in the woods. And Mom was going crazy and honking stuff like
dinner.
Right, dinner. And anyways, so Ranger came around, big gun on side holster, and I asked, "Oh, you got the gun to protect people?" And here was the answer from a national park ranger: was no. I'm not here to protect people. I'm here to protect myself. But we're in their environment, And I thought,
what?
Should I get in my car, number one, probably, right? But I wanted to see everything. Or number two, should I stick around close to the ranger so if he pulls out the gun, maybe I grab the gun.
Stand behind the guy with the gun.
Or I grab the gun.
That's also a bad instinct. Don't grab the ranger's gun.
Well,
city people.
Those are two bad instincts that I would not recommend that you follow. Sticking around for the Hungry Bear's dinner when it's a grizzly bear.
Totally.
Yellowstone is a gem.
Oh, absolutely.
When's the last time you
National
guys
treasure.
went to Yellowstone?
Beautiful.
It's just gorgeous.
Probably
last year.
15, 20 years ago for us.
Oh, you went last year?
Well, yeah, I was dropping my kid off. She goes to CU Boulder, and I was dropping her off, and we drove through the park for the day.
It's just
gorgeous.
perfect. And you can see wild animals. But you
yeah.
got to watch out for bison. Bison, you're more likely, you want to hear a stat? I don't actually, this is actually a real stat.
Okay.
You're probably more likely to get attacked by a bison because tourists are so dumb and they get so close to
so
those
you're taking
giant
a
animals.
selfie.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my
Than you
gosh.
are to be attacked by a grizzly bear. That's just anecdotal, but I think that's true. You could probably tell people that stat and feel comfortable
They sell
with it.
T-shirts say "Thanks for flying Bison Air" at the gift shops in Yellowstone from the idiots that walk up and want to take pictures with bison.
Is it a picture of somebody just like
flying through the air?
Launching, yeah. And they've got a bison with a bunch of human outlines on its flank, like a fighter pilot would enemy planes. Yeah.
That's a great park. It's a great park. Mike, you had a question?
Incidentally, from Dr. Google, a baby elk is a calf.
Calf.
That makes sense. Well,
And
people
depends on what
should
time of day, if it's lunch or dinner for the grizzly. Yeah.
people should be careful
Delicious.
in Mount Si. They're still searching for this thing. I would assume that, I mean, just based on the fact that it didn't attack anybody without cubs being present, probably they would just relocate something like this. Now it's a viral sensation, this bear. Everybody's loving this bear.
Well, there was a story of a second bear following another group of hikers associated with this
Or is it
story.
the same bear?
Could be the same bear.
I bet you it's the same
another
bear.
report of another group that had a bear on a trail.
Trailing him for a mile or so.
Yeah, and did no contact, but still.
Is the trail open today?
Yeah.
Will they
no,
close the
all
trail?
trails are closed today. You know, black bear, they're just like every other animal. They're they are flight animals, of course, but black bear, they're curious as well.
Yeah.
And so they kind of want to check things out and get a sniff of you and what you're all about.
Legit question for you guys. Do you think if you were in nature and you encountered like the bear thing that you just said, if it's brown, lay down, if it's black, fight back, would you have the mental fortitude to actually follow through with those, or do you just run screaming no matter what? Because I have seen a bear on a hike here locally in Issaquah. I'm just walking up a trail and I hear bushes crackling and this black bear runs past me. And I kid you not, I could have had a heart attack.
I'm sure.
And I was so petrified. I don't know what I would have done. Whatever the instructions were.
They say make yourself large and yell.
That's not what I did.
Try to be imposing.
Get together as a group, like get all the group together in one big thing. Yeah,
I just
Lift your arms
cowered in
up.
fear. My instinct was just cower in fear.
This sounds stupid too, and because no one does this. But what you should really do is actually train for that. You should actually practice
If you're going to hike.
and
That
you
is a
should
good
practice
idea.
what you should do, and you should practice getting your don't
Getting my
deploy
knife
it.
out.
Your bear
Getting your knife
spray.
out.
Getting
Getting
my
your
bear spray.
out. Yeah,
Getting big.
yeah.
You guys want to practice right now? What would you do? I'll be the bear.
Well,
Spike, you're hiking.
The
Let's
training.
pretend we live
okay.
in a world where you hike.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I've done it.
He's on. Are you on your sofa?
I soiled myself. One of the tricks is to make yourself as unappetizing as possible.
No, but I'm a bear, so I'm sniffing around. I'm like,
You don't
what's
like
that
you don't,
interesting?
you don't want no
and
parts
instead
of
of
that.
getting in a group like we should have, I stayed away and watched you.
You watch me.
Look
you
at
got
you
your phone
turn
out.
aside.
You got your phone
Someone-
out to film the attack.
Someone's got to report it.
This is going viral.
Luke just went, I just got to outrun Mike. All right.
We're glad
be
there were no
safe out
serious
there.
injuries. Our
No one injured.
best wishes for the
Those kids,
seriously.
honestly, and those teenagers, they got a heck of a story to tell.
Yeah, they do.
For the rest of their life.
They're very lucky.
They're very fortunate, and now they're going to be telling that story forever. Can I tease ahead to something that I'm going to tell you guys
we never
right now?
got to the e-bike story.
No, this is a perfect segue.
Okay.
The protective bear.
Oh, okay.
Something happened last night outside my house. I have not told you guys this yet.
Oh, okay.
Luke,
Sorry.
you're welcome to listen and stick around if you want to.
Yeah, okay.
2 a.m., I get woken up by a loud, crazy noise, and I have to go and investigate. And I have to be a big old papa bear.
Oh,
grab that knife.
Been there.
Let me tell you something. Some teenagers are going to have a story they're going to have for the rest of their lives.
Did you bear spray him?
It happened last night. I'll tell you about. My wife actually asked me not to tell the story.
Well, that's going to work.
But I will share it with you next because I love you all, and we'll talk about it. Stick
Mike,
around.
could you get Mrs. Skorheim on the phone?
Please do not. Please do not let her know we're doing it. Be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hoped it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the Warehouse Club.
But
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
You'll be sorry.
in South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, we've cared for hens with healthy pastures and organic grains. That's why our eggs are nutritious and flavorful. Next time you shop, choose Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Police across Washington are searching for a 32-year-old Davy Donato accused of assaulting his ex-girlfriend and kidnapping her 6-year-old son in Linwood Monday night. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu has more on why an Amber Alert was not sent out immediately.
According to Washington State Patrol, they aren't sent out between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. because the agency uses what it calls quiet hours.
So how come we're not even getting notifications? Like, I understand you want quiet hours and stuff, but at least a notification with no noise, that would make sense.
The sheriff's office says if you see Donato, you should not approach him. Just call 911.
We've posted a photo of the suspect and a description of his vehicle on mynorthwest.com. A warning for Grace Harbor PUD customers. Scammers are once again targeting utility accounts. Officials say customers have reported phone calls threatening power shutoffs unless a payment is made immediately. PUD says these are fraudulent calls and urges customers not to send money or share personal or banking information. Instead, customers should hang up and contact Grace Harbor PUD directly to verify their account status. As Seattle Public School students head into summer break today, district leaders are facing an $87 million budget shortfall. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports Superintendent Ben Schuldener is facing criticism.
Now, he is indeed facing pressure from some parents. Despite the school district scrapping a plan to close down schools, they have seen signs outside some school buildings in Seattle naming him and telling him not to close down schools.
Kitsap County deputies say a 19-year-old man suspected of being high on hallucinogenic mushrooms crashed through a closed door in Bremerton early Tuesday morning. It happened at an apartment complex on Northeast Steeple Rock Lane just after 2:30. The car crashed through the garage door, hit another car, then drove away. He returned to the scene and was arrested. Kitsap County Sheriff's spokesman Kevin McCarty.
He faces potential charges of driving under the influence, hit and run, malicious mischief, and obstructing a law enforcement officer.
The man is due in court later this week. And now check at Wall Street. Stocks hit session lows after Fed indicates rate hikes this year. The Dow right now down 400, just changed, down 500 points. S&P 500 down 90, and the NASDAQ down 315. And now your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by the KIRO News Radio app. In Monroe, eastbound 2 at Frylands Boulevard, we're still dealing with a collision. It has 2 left lanes blocked and only the right turn lane gets through, so there's a 2-mile bumper-to-bumper backup starting near Roosevelt Road. South 5 into Seattle slows from Northgate into downtown, just under 25 minutes from Linwood. North 5 scattered, slowing before the West Seattle Bridge now in downtown. In Renton, North 405 pretty slow through the S-curves. That earlier backup on northbound 167 has cleared. And South 5 through Lacey, we're looking at 6 miles of scattered backups starting near Cabela's. Text APP to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. All right, no rain in sight, mostly sunny into next week with highs ebbing and flowing between the mid-70s and mid-80s. Today, right around 75. Sunny and 67 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike, can I get personal with you for a second?
Of course.
Can I share
Just
a
let me on my
personal
teeth?
story? No, you look
you
great.
green?
You look great. All right. This is not a sad story or anything like that.
Okay.
This is a story that a lot of people probably can relate to. So I'm laying in bed last night, me and the missus. This doesn't take a weird turn, folks. Don't worry. 2 o'clock, I am just completely dead to the world asleep, and my wife wakes me up. 2 a.m. I do not like being woken up in the middle of the night. Nobody does. Obviously I'm disoriented. I'm kind of like,
well, it's unsettling. It's not something they do, so there's got to be a reason.
There's got to be a reason.
That in itself is unsettling.
Yes. So she wakes me up, 2 a.m. I'm sitting there in bed, and I hear a noise, and she goes, "What was that?" There's somebody outside. There's somebody outside the house. And, your protective instinct kicks in.
Yeah, that's a moment.
And I'm thinking to myself, do I got to go to the gun safe? Like, what do I got to do right now to protect my family? And so I go and I kind of slide over and I look out the window. And I can see from our window, I can see down our driveway past some other houses to where all of the garbage cans get collected. Because last night was garbage night.
Okay.
Somebody had knocked over all the neighborhood garbage cans at 2 a.m., and they're all laying in the street. And I'm thinking to myself, because I'm still in like that kind of foggy haze of, can I still go back to sleep? If I just went and laid down right now, could I go back to sleep?
Yeah.
Because now I'm not like super worried about danger to my family. Now I know that it's just some like nuisance. I don't know what's happening, but it's a garbage can related. So I'm thinking to myself, can I lay back down? But the garbage cans, I'm a good human being, or at least I try to be. And I don't want anybody to get hurt. The garbage cans are in the middle of the road. So somebody driving late at night who may not be paying attention.
Yeah, there's a safety issue
could
here.
slam into these garbage cans, and then they could get hurt. I could not live with myself if I had known these garbage cans led to somebody getting hurt. So begrudgingly, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go down there and lift these garbage. I'm going to be neighbor of the year and lift all the neighborhood garbage cans up.
How many cans we talking about? I mean, we're talking.
Well, last night was recycle and garbage.
Yeah. But multiple
and you
houses.
got your greenery stuff.
Yeah.
Multiple houses.
Oh man.
In all, I think I lifted something like, I think there was like 20 garbage cans.
You're kidding me.
That's part of the story.
Bear?
Here's what happened. So my wife's nervous. She's like, you don't need to go down there. What if somebody's down there doing something crazy? And I'm like, it's probably nothing. So she's like, take something to protect yourself. So, we're just finished Little League season. Uh-huh. And so I pop my shoes on and I grab one of my kids' Little League bats and I head on down there. I got my Little League rolling.
You bet. Yeah.
USA approved or whatever they require for these Little Leagues. And I walk down to the garbage cans and it is like dead silent.
It's 2 in the morning.
Now, this just happened like 45 seconds or probably like 2 minutes by the time I got my shoes on. Went to the restroom, maybe 5 minutes early, 3 minutes early, whatever. So I make my way down.
Made a quick bagel.
Yeah, I make my way down to the garbage cans. It's just silent. I live in a very quiet area. There's there's no cars driving by. It's a neighborhood. There's like no cars. And I hear down the street, somebody yelling. Multiple people now yelling. Kind of screaming back and forth to each other. And I'm sitting there on the sidewalk holding this bat when I see flying at me e-scooters, e-bikes, kids, teenagers. First night of summer last night, by the way, where I live. Wow. So I see these kids flying at me. Now, they don't see me for a half second because it's very dark and I'm kind of in the shadow. I'm in between streetlights. Mm-hmm. I'm standing there, and I must have looked crazy because I'm not happy that I've been woken up now. And I'm standing there and like half dressed, pretty upset, holding a Little League bat, and these kids see me and they slam on the brakes and they stop. And now it's just me and these kids. There's 2 kids on an e-bike, I'm sorry. One of them in the back is wearing a helmet. The one driving is not wearing a helmet. And then there's another kid on a stand-up e-scooter who are all standing there, and now I can see that their blood pressure is just through the roof. And they're super nervous, and I'm holding a bat. And so I'm like, did you guys knock these over? And I'm using instantly into dad voice.
You're clearly in a neighborhood watch dad voice. Yes.
100%.
Yes.
And I'm like, did you knock these over? And they went, no, somebody else did it. And I was just like, I don't see anybody else. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. And I probably should have set the bat down, if I'm honest. Like that would have been very intimidating.
No. There's 3 of them.
Yeah, but they're like not very big.
Or bright. Keep the bat in your hand.
Okay, so I kept the bat in my hand. My instinct was the same. I kept the bat in my hand.
Yeah.
I said, did you guys knock these over? They said, no. I said, who did it? They said, it was other guys down the street. And I say, well, you're the only ones out. So where are these other guys? Just around the corner, right there. I said, what do they look like? I'm just like asking questions.
Yeah.
And he goes, one of the kids goes, he was in a mask. And I was like, so there's a masked man down the corner who's knocking over garbage cans at 2 a.m. and you guys are also out at 2 a.m.? And then they're like, yeah. And I was like, don't lie to me. And he goes, no, we're not lying. We're not lying. And he starts breathing real heavy.
Yeah.
And I said, what's your name? And they all kind of look at each other. They don't want to give me their names. But I kind of recognize them, actually. Because
okay.
I live in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
These kids look young. They look like they might have gone to my son's elementary school in the last few years.
Yeah. You probably may have seen that e-bike around the neighborhood.
Yeah, and so the first kid, I say, what's your name? And I won't say it on the radio here, but he gives me his name. I say, what's your last name? He gives me the same name. I said, your name is blank blank, like 2 names. He goes, no, that's my last name. I say, what's your first name? He gives me his first name. Then the kid behind him, I say, what's your name? And he's so scared. He goes, I don't even know right now. And at that point, I did feel kind of bad because, again, I'm like holding the bat still.
Yeah, okay.
So long story short, I tell these kids, I'm now feeling like a father, and I realize I have kind of a PTSD, a lot of pent-up aggression about these stupid e-scooters that I'm seeing everywhere.
Right.
We had a story in the news today we haven't even gotten to yet about an incident that happened in Mill Creek, and these kids are flying by, and now and I look down the street, and there is 3 blocks worth of garbage cans that they've kicked over.
Okay.
And I am now, I'm a level 10, not happy.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I think the kid in the back is also going to start crying. And I also don't want to see that happen.
Right.
And so I get all of their names, and then I lie to them, and I say, like, I know your parents. And if you don't go home right now, I'm going to call your parents. I was like, what are you guys doing out at 2 a.m.? I have all this lecture built up in me.
Yeah.
And I give it to them. And I said, do your parents know you're out right now at 2 a.m.? Because they were 13 years old.
Yeah.
I said, how old are you kids? And they said, 13. I said, you're in middle school? And they said, yeah. I said, it's 2 a.m. Why aren't you in sleep right now? And they said, yeah, we should be. And I said, you know how much your parents love you? And you're outside right now? I was like, you just ran into a grown man with a baseball bat. You go home and tell them you ran into a grown man with a baseball bat at 2 a.m. You see what they say. Really good lecture, actually.
Really, really good.
And I think they're going
to lesson quality.
I did everything but like sit there and pray with them. I almost prayed with them to turn their life around. Like, you kids better get on the right path. So I sent them off. I then have to walk down the street, and I picked up all the garbage cans.
You're a good man.
Well, I didn't want like somebody to crash.
You're not gonna get off those scooters and pick up these cans right now. You're not
gonna
do that.
Though?
It's not
I
gonna
feel
work.
like it was a missed opportunity because for 100% they knocked over those cans.
Oh yeah, it was them.
100%.
Mystery masked man around the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What I should have
clown
done.
makeup.
100%.
And a red vest.
I should have forced them to get off their scooter. I said, all right, pick these cans up. I should have just made them do it.
While we're all out here together at 2 o'clock, let's make this time productive.
Yeah, you know what? If you didn't do it, you're doing a good deed. If you did do it, you're making up for something stupid. That's what I should have said to them. And I didn't, because, again, I had the bat.
Yeah.
But they went on their way, and I hope if their parents are listening.
You didn't bust up a single kid or scooter. I'm not saying bust up a kid. I'd have busted up a scooter or two. I probably couldn't have controlled myself. I probably couldn't have had the self-control you're demonstrated. I don't know that I could have.
I think you might have. The kid in the back was real scared. He seemed real
when
scared.
you bring in a crier.
Yeah, when he starts crying, it kind of like it shocks you back into it.
Yeah.
And then my wife, what happened? Is everything okay? I'm like, oh, it was fine. I felt like such a hero. She didn't see it that way. She actually like,
you terrorized 3 kids.
Why are you scaring those kids?
My face?
Why did you bring the baseball bat? Anyway,
because you weren't going to come.
If you guys have any similar stories, you can hit us up on the text line 888-973-5476. Did you ever get in a situation like that? Have you ever had to step in dad mode?
I hate to say this. I was the 13-year-old in that story. I really was, man. I really was. Middle of the night, summer nights, sleep over at my buddy Tony's house.
I did have one of those surreal moments where I was just like, boosh. I was on the other side of this.
I was that kid, man.
I think that's why I went easy on him.
Yeah.
Because I remember being that kid. But hope they're going to carry that the rest of their lives.
As I do today. You betcha.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, this is Jay Skorheim. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. Once again, they've been awarded the best in the Pacific Northwest for roofing by the Seattle Times in 2025. And right now, qualified homeowners could take advantage of $0 down and 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing today, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some carry groceries, prepare meals, or simply hold a hand. Caregivers are the everyday heroes who keep our communities strong. Right now, Washington needs more of these heroes. People like you, ready to make a difference in someone's life. Caregiver Careers Washington offers online resources and guidance to help you get trained and start your caregiving career. Become a hero not just to the person you care for, but to their family and their community. Visit caregivercareerswa.com today.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB and this station.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub with exciting news. Our mid-year clearance event is on. You'll score big savings on all in-stock saltwater hot tubs and fabulous saunas. Plus, deep discounts on newly released floor model swim spas. These deals are incredible. But don't wait. Our mid-year clearance ends June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you. Like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. green gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
John Curley here. Who installs your new cooling system matters. I recommend Home Comfort Alliance for 50 years of award-winning service and top-quality Carrier products that deliver years of comfort. Save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Mariners baseball is in full swing, and it's not too late to come on board as a season ticket member. With a Flex plan, you can choose your games and seats as you go. Plus, lock in guaranteed postseason access and no ticket fees. Join today at mariners.com/flex.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're going to stick with the Z-Bike stuff for a minute. I saw the story in Seattle Times. Spike, did you see this? In Mill Creek?
I did see this.
Parents are suing. Some parents in Mill Creek, their 13-year-old had a run-in with Mill Creek police, and they are now suing the Mill Creek police, claiming that the officer used excessive force, assault, battery, negligence, and false arrest, and accusing the Mill Creek Police Department of improper training. Now, this all revolves around a kid on a mini bike. This is not an e-scooter, though. This is just sounds to me like a more traditional gas-powered little mini bike.
Yeah, it doesn't really give the description as to what kind of power the bike contained.
It's gas-powered.
Gas-powered, okay.
Yeah,
so it wasn't an e-bike. It was a mini bike. And there were 3 kids involved in this altercation at the Mill Creek Shopping Center.
Mill Creek Town Center. Which is lovely.
I've been there.
It's
I've
very
been there.
nice.
Our band has played there in
That's right. You played there last fall.
Last fall, a couple falls in a row.
Yeah, they're really great.
So these kids are wreaking havoc, causing mayhem, and the officer involved.
Somebody calls.
Yeah,
somebody calls a report in on these kids, 911. But as a nuisance, that's kind of one of the areas here that it takes a turn.
For what the story says, and this is again from the Seattle Times, the officer was told not to pursue, and the officer took it upon himself to pursue anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's what the story claims.
That's what the story claims. That's the allegation in the lawsuit from the parents of this injured child, because a 13-year-old who was fleeing from the officer, according to several witnesses, the officer pursued him in a marked vehicle and then pulled in front of the kid and made a move directly in front of this 13-year-old's mini bike, causing the mini bike to strike the officer's vehicle.
Here's what the Seattle Times says. A witness walking his dog said JF, that's the kid
youth
in question, the Ute was driving about 30 miles per hour, and that Odom's SUV, Odom is the officer Joseph Odom, Odom's SUV overtook him from behind and then, quote, steered his patrol SUV sharply left across the crosswalk and into JF's path of travel, leaving JF no room to maneuver. The kid ends up getting a laceration, according to the complaint, a laceration to his leg, a sprain, and abrasions and contusions.
Kid was wearing a helmet, luckily.
Was wearing a helmet.
The kid collided with the police vehicle and launched the kid into the street.
And then they put the kid in cuffs.
Officer
Odom puts the kid in cuffs, according to this complaint, and is yelling at the kid, "Don't be a bleep." And then passersby apparently were not happy with what they were seeing and basically saying like, "Hey, that's a kid." And the kid was crying.
Yeah, the lawsuit says that the officer radioed into dispatch saying one of these kids just struck my patrol vehicle. And also that the 3 witnesses who were unhappy with the way the officer was handling the situation were a threat.
Here's the part that this is very loaded in what this allegation is, but the claim is they say that this was targeted due to race because they say JF is half black, according to the Seattle Times, while his white companion, who was also on a mini bike, was stopped without incident by another officer. Now, this will all have to play out, and I don't know how this is. I don't know what the end result of this is going to be. It does sound to me, though. It does sound to me excessive in if it's true that that the officer was ordered not to pursue. If it's true that the dispatcher, whoever makes these decisions, would said don't pursue, and he still did. This would I feel like it's kind of an open and shut thing. But
according to the story, a senior supervising officer said obviously don't pursue because the kids were not suspected of any serious crimes.
Yeah, they're nuisance.
They weren't armed. They weren't endangering the public.
What you need is more like a dad mode, like I did.
Right.
Where you kind of you show your authority. You have a baseball bat for power.
Yeah, baton. Yeah.
You give a strong lecture.
Right.
But
Ask
you
their
make sure
names.
to tell the kids that your parents love you and they don't want you cruising around on mini bikes 30 miles an hour on roads that are made for cars. Don't be stupid. That's what you should have said. Don't be stupid. And then let them go on their merry way. Maybe even take the bikes from them. Say their parents can come and pick them up. I've seen that done a few times. But we'll see how this plays out.
Lawsuits from the family against the Mill Creek Police Department and Chief Stan White of Mill Creek.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Doesn't look good for Mill Creek Police in this
Not
story,
if the eyewitnesses
in my
accounts
opinion.
come to bear true.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Jason Rance joins us next. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
You reach a time in your life where you're going to need help. My husband was a big help to me, but then after he died, I didn't have that help. But living here, Aegis is just wonderful. If anything happened to me, they would be right there taking care of me. I feel very safe, very secure, and I'm very happy here.
Voted Best of Western Washington for assisted living and memory care, Aegis Living is the trusted expert in senior living. Visit aegisliving.com/KIRO and see for yourself.
To all lovers of pop culture, science fiction, comics, wrestling, anime, and movies, Washington State SummerCon is this weekend at the Washington State Fair and Events Center in Puyallup. Meet over 130 celebrity guests from Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, DC, Demon Slayer, One Piece, and 5 WWE Hall of Famers. Meet the Fonz, Henry Winkler, Jay and Silent Bob, Steve from Blue's Clues, all 5 Teen Titans, and even Deadpool's iconic pet, Dogpool. Visit wassummercon.com to purchase tickets.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver. From New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The Trump administration disclosed terms of the proposed memo of understanding between the U.S. and Iran, set to be finalized Friday in Geneva. It calls for an immediate ceasefire on all fronts, including Lebanon, reopens the Strait of Hormuz, and resumes nuclear talks. President Trump says billions of Iranian funds could also be unfrozen if Iran behaves. The Federal Reserve Board, headed by new chair Kevin Warsh, left interest rates unchanged today. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze says possible rate hikes could come later this year.
This is a testament to what a lot of people in the stock market have been expecting. When you have inflation rising and the jobs market in a steady place here, it is hard to make the case for interest rate cuts, and that seems to be the place where a lot more Fed officials are as of right now.
FBI officials say the investigation into the foiled drone attack at the White House UFC event is ongoing. 5 suspects have been charged. Authorities say multiple suspects remain at large. This is ABC News. Some positive news about the health of the youngest Americans. ABC's Jim Ryan says U.S. infant mortality falling to its lowest rate on record.
Preliminary data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention finds that 5.4 babies per 1,000 born in 2025 didn't make it to their first birthday. As tragic as it is, it's the lowest rate in U.S. history. The decline was only fractions of a percentage point below the 2024 figure, but in hard numbers represented hundreds of lives.
Fire crews battling multiple wildfires in California and Washington state. More than 2,000 homes near Spokane under threat. ABC's Alex Stone is near the fire zone.
The upriver fire started on Tuesday, quickly growing to hundreds of acres. And across the West, it's been a week of fire as temperatures are rising. In California, firefighters making progress on wildfires as well.
Luigi Mangione appearing in a New York courtroom today. The judge overseeing the state trial says his attorneys plan to argue he was suffering extreme emotional disturbance at the time of the crime. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
A bear attack closes Mount Si trails. More on that coming up. But first, a quick check on your traffic. Brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. Out in Monroe, we just cleared an earlier collision. Eastbound 2 at Frylands Boulevard. Still got a mile or so of a bumper-to-bumper backup to get through. Here in Seattle, South 5, we're slow from Northgate into downtown, right around 20 minutes from Linwood. North 5, it's bumper-to-bumper from almost mid-Boeing Field, just past the West Seattle Bridge, where we just cleared a crash out of your way about 5 minutes ago. And South 5 still slows heading into Olympia. Everywhere else, we're looking good. Don't miss fireworks nights all summer long, presented by T-Mobile. The next show is June 19th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. All trails on Mount Si near North Bend are closed today after a bear attacked 3 teenagers. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports Fish and Wildlife officers are still searching for the bear.
The 3 teenage hikers tell KIRO 7 TV near the summit of Mount Si. The bear charged and they scattered. One sprained his ankle running. Another told a passerby afterward the bear swatted his legs several times.
The bear scratched him up. His extremities, his whole legs were scratched up. He could really barely walk.
According to Fish and Wildlife, the last recorded bear attack with injuries was back in 2022. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Federal disaster money is now flowing to fight the upriver fire in Spokane County. FEMA approved the state's request last night, unlocking grants to cover up to 75% of firefighting costs. The agency says the flames are threatening hundreds of homes in and around Spokane, along with the school, utilities, and businesses. It's burned roughly 300 acres and is about 10% contained. Something other than coffee could soon be powering Seattle's iconic Starbucks Center. The Seattle Times reports the owners of the Soto landmark are exploring plans for a small-scale data center on the vacant ground floor. The space has been empty since an Amazon Fresh pickup site left in January 2024. Co-owner Kevin Daniels says a conceptual site plan has been filed with the city, but no tenant has been selected. The proposal comes just days after Seattle approved a temporary ban on large new data centers. Well, Mariners fans rejoiced yesterday to see catcher Cal Raleigh return to the lineup as the team begins a 6-game homestand. And the big dumper did not disappoint. He had an immediate impact on the team.
Pitch on the way, swinging a line, driving to left center field, falling fast. That's going to drop in, a base hit. Here comes Robles. Emerson rounding third. The throw to the plate, he slides, he's saved. 2 runs are in. Welcome back, Cal Raleigh off the IL.
That gave the M's a 3-1 lead over the Baltimore Orioles in the 7th. Seattle would go on to win by that same score. The teams will play again today at 6:40, and you can catch all the action on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. And now let's check out that weather. Sunny days ahead into next week. 75 this afternoon, 78 tomorrow, 83 on Friday. Sunny and 69 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours left to go. I'm very excited to welcome right now Jason Rantz from Seattle Red 770s, the Jason Rantz Show. Jason, welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for being here. Let me ask you a quick question. Because I know you listen to the show. So
all the time.
When I was telling my personal story about what happened last night at 12:30, on the 12:30 segment, what happened last night at 2 a.m. to me.
At 2 a.m. it happened.
2 a.m.
I remember that detail.
Yep. Do you think I made the right call?
I do. I think in the grand scheme, especially given the fact that it was at 2 a.m. where, you might be a little bit sleepy, you don't know exactly what's going on. And so to make the decision that you made so early in the morning when you were sleeping and, it was dark out.
I had to make a decision on the fly. That decision
on the fly. I was just about to say that. I think it was really the right decision that you made at 2 a.m.
Anything you would have done differently in hindsight?
Probably just from my personality is a little bit different. But, at 2 a.m., a decision that has to get made,
a lot of time.
I think you did the right thing.
What did you think about my choice of weapon that I brought with me? What did you think of that?
I would have used probably a similar weapon. Maybe 2 of those weapons I would have used instead of just one. Again, it's 2 a.m., you're tired, and these things happen sometimes.
I'm getting the sense that you didn't listen to the segment and that you have no idea what I had to do last night at 2 a.m. Basically, a neighborhood hero.
So here's the deal. People accuse me of taking control of the conversation, and I didn't want to reset the story.
Let me reset it
when
for the
host
audience.
Should do that.
You're totally right about that.
Well, you also would have grabbed Ninja Throwing Stars at that point in time, yeah?
Ninja Throwing Stars would have been a sweet addition. Last night at 2 a.m., my wife wakes me up and she says, "Did you hear that noise?"
Did you hear that noise? Yeah.
And I look out the window. Somebody has knocked over all of our trash cans. As you well know. And so I went down there and I caught essentially in the act, although I didn't see them specifically do it, although I am pinning it on them.
I know.
3 teenagers on e-bikes, one e-bike and an e-scooter. They were doubling up on the e-bike.
And the drugs they were on.
Well, they didn't have any drugs. But I did have a bat.
Sugar's a drug, my friend.
And I had to confront them.
That's true.
Would you have done the same thing? Do you think you would have confronted them? And I was very nice, and I said, "Your parents love you. Now get out of here, you scamps."
I mean, I would have recorded it all.
I'll bet you there's a ring cam. of it.
Interesting.
I'll try to find that. You would have gone down there with your phone?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to turn it into content, especially if I might get stabbed as a result of it.
Yeah, you're right.
Your decision to swing away.
Yeah, you're right. That's what my wife was yelling from our bedroom window. She's watching. Swing away, Jake. Swing away. All right. The reason that we have you here, Jason, among other things that we're going to chat about, you have a story on SeattleRed.com that you can read right now. You can also read it at My Northwest, where I think it's a very popular story.
I go to SeattleRed.com.
Go to SeattleRed.com. Check it out. I think this was maybe 2 weeks ago. Mayor Katie Wilson was very, very proud. She was standing in front of these new little
pallet
shelter units. And she was saying, like, oh, it's so exciting. We're opening up this pallet shelter village. She had said, we want to build a bunch of these, and this was the first that they were rolling out. This was her on the site. I think this was from Como News. Could have been KIRO 7, but I think it was Como.
So this is the first of the kind of new sites that we've been able to identify this year that we are opening, and I'm really proud of how fast we've been able to get that going.
So she's fast. Very proud of how fast. Although she says, unfortunately, they did not meet their goal.
We're not going to get 500 by the World Cup, but we always knew that was a very ambitious goal.
Are you disappointed that you can't get to the 500? And is there a reason why? Because I know you fast-tracked it with legislation.
Like we set a very ambitious goal, and again, I think we were really successful in kind of lighting that fire that got everyone moving.
So she's guilty of being too ambitious. Is the problem.
If I just care too much.
Yeah.
I was just trying to start a conversation. Exactly. Was the rationale she gave.
And in fairness to her, we have not talked about homelessness at all for the last decade plus.
Right.
That's
conversation
true.
needed to be started.
Someone had to do it.
It was a new idea.
Set the spark.
Her decision to bring a baseball bat to the press conference also.
That would have been nice.
Brilliant.
So Jason, your story details exactly. We have an update on this.
Yes.
This was in Inner Bay. They put in, was it 75?
75 of the 500, so 85% to her goal, away from her goal.
So she accomplished 15% of what she set out to do.
The whole point of this was, at least as it was initially sold, not just this location, but the 500, was we're obviously going to be moving people around in downtown and Soto, Pioneer Square, because of the World Cup. And the criticism has always been, especially from folks on the left, like, where are you going to put them? We don't have enough shelter space, which was never quite honest, but okay, fair enough. So here's why we're doing it now. We're going to get them done by the World Cup, and the people who are being displaced, they're going to be able to be in this location. There's 5 people in the location, and they're not going to fill this space up until at least August.
5 people. Can you explain that?
5 people of the 75.
So did they give each person like 15 units? Like, how does that work out?
What they say is
these are block leaders, they're called. The initial 5 are block leaders.
Uh-huh. I love that.
They're pushing them all together because they are tiny. They're like, what, 250 square feet
They're
or
setting
something?
up a structural hierarchy right now, to be put in place.
So these will be little dominions.
What they're saying is we're going deliberately slow as part of best practices because it allows us to connect with people and get them squared away with their caseworker or whatever they're calling them. And what we plan to get, like 7 or so a week, and we'll get it filled up. But, okay, fair enough. Like, let's say that was the goal the entire time. Don't pitch it specifically as a way to get people indoors by the start of the World Cup.
Right, cleaning up the city's
That is the
appearance.
problem, is you are overselling and under-delivering by design. Don't do that. Do the opposite.
Yeah.
Do the opposite of that.
Also, what is the barrier? This is a no-barrier shelter.
There is the only rules really that we're talking about is, like, don't physically assault someone there. Like, that is the rule.
That'll get you booted out.
Yes. Okay. If you are a drug user, you can continue to use drugs at this location.
Like bad drugs, illegal drugs.
All drugs, even the good ones. You can do it all. So, again, it is a low-barrier shelter. It is unusually slow, given that detail, and given all the fanfare that the city itself brought to this location. Oh, we're up and ready. We're ready to go. We're going to bring all these people in 5.
So was it just for the cameras? Is that why they were doing it? I'm still not understanding. If you have 70 units available, and we were told that this was such an emergency that we have to do like special ordinances so that they can put these anywhere, even within school zone distances, so that you could have no limit to how many people could be housed, right? Isn't that what we were told? They did a special ordinance you could build near schools?
Yeah, not any limit, but yes. I mean, they obviously made changes to zoning. They opened up some new funds available for this. This was
only
all,
5.
I think, because I honestly believe that this was a political, strategic decision, knowing that they had to clear out the area for the World Cup. They knew they were going to get pushback from folks in the community, so they just came out and said, oh, don't worry, we've got a plan, and then just didn't expect anyone to follow up. And to be clear, no one really followed up on this except for us at SeattleRed.com. Like, I haven't seen any media coverage of, okay, 2 weeks in, you said you were going to clean this up by the World Cup time. No one's there.
Well, they've cleaned up Pioneer Square.
Yes.
For World Cup play because it's a pedestrian-only zone and there's fan fests and all the other things.
Hey,
but from what I'm seeing
nice.
is they've pushed people to Belltown. They've pushed people to the International District.
More
they
so
haven't directed
Chinatown.
people to Chinatown. They haven't pushed people to this shelter space.
Yeah,
the
or
units.
if they did, quote unquote, push people, it was just like, you could go there if you'd like. And then that's it. And kind of just not move on. I get that not everyone's going to accept shelter, but I was also told that pallet shelters and tiny home villages is precisely what some of these homeless people want. And
there's no barrier. Wraparound services are optional.
Well, what does that mean then? If that option's open, I mean, it's open. There's 70 spaces available. What does that mean then for the people who are on the streets right now and given this option? If they don't want this, if that is not true, then are these people just wanting to stay on the streets and to do drugs on the streets because it's kind of a nice time of year and why not be outside?
This is the time. I mean, that actually is part of it, that they don't want to follow any rules whatsoever. They are comfortable where they are, quote unquote. And beyond that, there are some people who are dealing with such deep drug addiction, they don't know what decision to make. They can't. Yeah. They're not capable of making the right decision, which is part of an underlying issue we have, particularly with people who are mentally ill, where if you don't take a tougher love approach on some of these people, they will die out on the streets. They're not capable of making the right decision for themselves. And if they don't have family members who are there to help make these decisions and really evangelize or advocate on their behalf, this is what happens. But this has been the problem for Seattle homelessness policy for decades. It's only getting worse because we don't have any teeth to any kind of enforcement.
It's all carrot and no stick.
Yes.
To grub phrase. They expect 5 to 7 a week? Is that
their goal.
Where do they get that number? Because at that point, okay, if you're telling me you're going to have 24 by the end of the month.
They didn't explain where that number came from other than this sort of just more general best practices, which I don't know
Reaching
if that's
out,
best
offering
practices.
services, connecting people with you said the 5 that they have, they connect with caseworkers.
But they knew when they were going to open. So I guess, a follow-up question I have is, well, did you do none of that before?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You created these relationships, presumably, with people out on the streets, and you know that it's not going to happen overnight for a lot of people. But generally speaking, and some of the work that We Heart Seattle does, for example, that's been really effective is they say, I will get you into shelter right now. I will put you in a bed in a detox facility today. Union Gospel Mission does basically the same thing when they're going around. I will bring you right now to get you into a shelter space.
When Charlie Harger did an investigative piece about the homeless situation and services, didn't he say that they're not allowed to offer people rehab?
The city is not allowed to recommend that you get clean. They're supposed to, in some way, affirm whatever choice you're making to be on the street. So they might hand you drugs. They're not going to say to you, hey, you know what? You should really stop doing drugs. They're not supposed to do that, according to Charlie's story.
Well, so it depends on the unit that we're talking about. The city-specific one, the United Health, whatever they're called, the care team, they don't do that, or traditionally have not done that. And I've done, walkthroughs with them, and it's part of the harm reduction model, which is, again, it is a total failure. Harm reduction does not work the same way Housing First does not work unless you change what you determine to be success, which is, we're making it slightly safer for people to continue to do drugs. Okay, if you want to completely redefine it that way, then yes, it's successful. Or no, Housing First is just getting people into Housing First, but there's more to that. Well, no, we want them in permanent subsidized housing. That's not success. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you a question about this. Does this undercut Katie Wilson's message, which is it's all about housing? Like most of us, I think probably in the room, we would acknowledge a vast majority of the people that we would see living on the streets have either a substance abuse problem or some mental health issue that they're dealing with. When Katie Wilson was recently asked about this, I forget where it was, in the cocktail hour with the city or whatever it was. Civic cocktail. She said it's primarily a housing issue because Seattle is expensive. So doesn't this kind of take all the air out of that balloon that they have 75 units available for free, for no barriers, with air conditioning, by the way? And we just had one of the best, highest heat waves we've had in a while, and they can't get anybody in there. Doesn't that kind of just completely take the wind out of those sails?
In a normal situation, yes. But I would argue that the facts have always taken the wind out of that, and yet they still continue to push that through. It is obviously not true. but they can argue it. Well, on paper, it sounds like it's true, so we'll go ahead and pretend that it is.
Did you see that story? We talked about this a little bit the other day. I think it was in Seattle Times, but a lot of local outlets were reporting on this. But you have the feds who said, we're not going to give money to this one, I think it was Los Angeles Regional Homeless Authority.
It was L.A., yeah.
It was L.A., and they've since, just under this administration, got rid of the Housing First model as what's accepted by them, HUD specifically.
But the story was detailing how, okay, well, what does this mean for Seattle? Because we've got, that's the approach that they're also taking. Against the backdrop of the King County Regional Homeless Authority and them being like way up, having
$44 million under budget, or over budget, excuse me. Yeah.
And $13 million that's unaccounted for, and a Housing First model. And then in the story, they detail that the federal government they're going to give out $4 billion in aid to cities that have homeless issues, except they do not want to be continually throwing good money after bad with the Housing First approach. And
which accounted for, was it 90% of that budget?
90% of the budget goes
dedicated to the Housing First models across the cities that need these help.
Yeah, and part of that, by the way, is because it's so expensive, and that's why the percentage is so high. But that just undercuts that makes the point of you're spending a whole bunch of good money on something that just does not work. And people still point to Salt Lake City and claim, because that's where the Housing First model really exploded and was legitimized by governments. They said they did this, and at the time they had said that they got to functional zero homelessness. And I write about this in my book. That was never true. It was never true. They never got to functional zero homelessness. They redefined how they were counting the homeless people. They were talking about chronic homeless people. They were talking about putting them into permanent subsidized housing, which was never what Housing First was supposed to be. Housing First can work if it is not permanent. It is temporary subsidized housing, and there come conditions for you to get the free housing.
To move beyond the addiction part of it.
Most people, Republican or Democrat, would say if you are someone who's suffering from mental health issues or a drug addiction, we will pay to keep you in treatment and housing for pretty much as long as it takes, so long as you're taking it seriously and you're actually getting the treatment. If you're choosing not to do that, most of us would say, well, why are we continuously paying for that? That does not make any sense. And so this unfortunately has become political. The left in this case has decided to embrace the Housing First and harm reduction at the same time, which are not compatible.
I hope people can, we mentioned Charlie's piece earlier, did a great piece about the mayor of San Francisco, Daniel Lurie, who has picked up the stick and required their homeless community to seek mental health care and to seek sobriety. And they've hit a 15-year low in homelessness in San Francisco.
Shocking that is what works.
What more do Democratic mayors need to see than one of our own? As a Democrat, one of our own, figuring out that this insanity of doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, is not going to keep going, and the federal government's not going to keep giving you money. Let's try a more serious approach.
Do you guys think that it has something to do with the amount of money that flows into these NGOs, which then also are like backing the
100%
candidates who are pushing these things?
I would like to believe that everyone who gets involved in advocacy around the homeless are in it 100% for the right reasons. I'm also smart enough to realize that when you have lots of money flowing into your organization and you're already making a ton of money just from a base salary, the people who run these things, and you realize all of that stops when you've solved the problem, I'm sorry, I'm a little suspicious as to whether or not you're truly going to solve the problem. I don't think that's for everyone, but I think a lot of people are working really, really hard at this. I also think, unfortunately, there's a lot of ideological blinders on that just say, well, we can't be quote-unquote conservative and have carrot and stick. That's not a conservative approach. That's the funny thing. It's not. San Francisco makes that point.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting to watch because now Seattle has a choice. They can follow the LA model, which they're just trying to continue to do the same thing.
Follow the Seattle model. You don't have to look even south to keep doing what you're doing.
Well, I was going to say Seattle could follow the LA or they can follow the San Francisco model. Because there's two obvious examples of it doing it very differently, and one is getting results. Jason Rantz, we appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much.
Thank you. SeattleRed.com has the story.
Go check that story out, SeattleRed.com. Click on it, send it to your friends, share it, and we got a lot more coming up. Spike, what are we doing next? We got a lot of good stuff we haven't even gotten to yet.
Deep fakes have gotten so good that experts are afraid of what they're looking at, and they can't tell the difference. Or Is the vacant Starbucks building destined to be a data center? Your choice.
I say we try to get to both of them if we can.
Let's do it.
I'm very interested in the data center thing.
Me too.
With the moratorium that Seattle City Council has put on data centers.
Yeah.
Now this one, I guess, has to be very, very tiny in order to not be a massive data center. We'll talk about it next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Carrie injured her back years ago. This is her story.
My herniated disc was so significant that they did the first surgery, the laminectomy and a microdiscectomy. The first surgery failed, and I ended up with another herniated disc, which is pretty typical that herniations just move up your spine. The doctor was recommending another fusion surgery, so I researched alternative therapies. Sound Pain Solutions developed a plan that included bioelectric therapy, laser therapy, decompression, pressure wave therapy, in addition to rehab. Once we started that comprehensive approach, it went phenomenally. They honestly have given me my life back, and I'm happy to help other patients find sound pain solutions sooner.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home.
Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
There is nothing so special as June in a Northwest garden. Hi, I'm Gina, a designer and sign painter here at Sky Nursery, and I have been a huge gardener since my now adult kids were shorter than my lavender. When I get home from work this time of year, the first thing I do is head straight out into the garden to see how everything is growing and enjoy the spring golden hour. I'm in love with this year's zinnias and lavender, and the rose I added this February is just about to bloom. So I've been spoiling it with a little extra organic fertilizer. And as any gardener does, I'm also trying everything I can to make space for just a few more flowers and veggies. If you still have room for new plants in your life, June is a great time to get them in the ground before the summer heat. Come into Sky and explore the colorful tapestry of trees and shrubs, summer veggies and herbs, fountains, containers, hanging baskets, and more. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store since 1953. Visit skynursery.com for free seasonal garden advice and summer events. Happy gardening!
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The U.S. and Iran now detailing terms of their deal to end the war. It includes reopening the Strait of Hormuz and lifting sanctions on Iranian oil. President Trump at a news conference at the G7 summits talked about the language in the agreements.
Importantly, Iran has agreed that they will neither produce nor procure a nuclear weapon.
But the agreement does say negotiations on Iran's nuclear program will continue over the next 60 days. A wildfire in Spokane County continues to threaten hundreds of homes today. Ahmad, who lives just 5 miles away from the upriver fire, tells us he's ready to evacuate if needed.
I'm waiting with my animals. I'm just waiting for the call to actually leave to go to a friend's place that's further out.
No word yet on where or how the fire started yesterday. It's about 10% contained and has burned about 300 acres so far. Last night, FEMA approved the state's request for federal disaster money to help fight the fire. Now to the closing bell reports. The Federal Reserve votes to keep interest rates right where they are. It's the first time board members are meeting with Kevin Warsh, serving as new Fed chair.
Economic activity is expanding at a solid pace, despite elevated uncertainty that owes in part to the conflict in the Middle East.
ABC's Elizabeth Schultze says more than half of the Fed's board voted in favor of raising interest rates at a later date this year.
What we're looking at now is a drastically different outlook for the Fed, in that at the start of this year and even at the last meeting, we were expecting interest rate cuts. Well, now the possibility looks more likely from many Fed officials that it could be going higher.
And markets turned lower on today's announcement. The Dow lost 507, NASDAQ down 354, S&P 500 lost 91 points. To the real-time traffic desk now, here's Nate Conner.
Thanks, Aaron. Global Credit Union has the update. Northbound I-5 in Seattle is struggling just past the West Seattle Bridge. We've got a disabled vehicle partially blocking your right lane. And your bumper-to-bumper is starting at the north end of Boeing Field, South Center to Seattle, taking you a half hour. That's a 10-minute delay. South 5 is heavy through Northgate. You'll gradually thin out as you make your way into downtown. 25 minutes from Linwood. Southbound 405, we're filling in between Factoria and Renton. It's up to 20 minutes now from Bellevue to Renton. Northbound 405 slows from South Center. It's pretty thick there in the S-curves. And if you're heading through Lacey, South 5, you're backed up from Lacey into downtown Olympia, starting near Pacific Avenue, Tacoma to Olympia at 40 minutes. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Fair skies today, a light breeze and highs in the mid-70s. Right now, sunny and 68 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, the story caught my eye. I thought it was very interesting. Also, If you are of a certain mind in Seattle, this would be just the spookiest story you could possibly imagine. Seattle Times reports that, Starbucks, the building in Soto?
Sure,
Mike?
the old Sears building.
So used to be I guess it still technically is the headquarters of Starbucks, right?
Yeah, it'll always be home.
It'll always be home.
Yeah.
Quote home.
Uh-huh.
So apparently there's a lot of office space available in that building.
Yeah.
Especially more as Starbucks moves more and more of their operations to Tennessee.
Correct.
And so the building owners are thinking about renting out some of the unused space, which used to be an Amazon Fresh, apparently.
It's been empty since January of 24. When that Fresh location.
It's a long time to have a space that size just open. And so what they're discussing now is putting in a data center, which is, again, just the spookiest thing imaginable in Seattle. Don't worry, this is not a big data center.
No, it's a micro data center.
This is a small scale
tiny data center, yeah.
Which makes it somehow better.
Well, the moratorium the city council passed a couple weeks ago. We're on
Data. Big data.
The moratorium was on what they deemed large data centers, which are more than 20 megavolt amps.
Large data.
Roughly 20 megawatts, enough to power 4,000 homes is the equivalent. This one will be 45,000 square feet of a 1.3 million square foot facility.
Sure.
So it's really not, it's 1/20th of that entire complex down in the Soto, which is the Starbucks headquarters. And it'd be on the ground floor they're talking about, a small-scale data center. There are 10 different tenants looking at that space.
Yeah.
A lot of them in the home improvement categories. So they haven't made any decisions yet, but they got whiff of that a data center might be popping in.
Whenever you hear the words data center, people immediately just tighten up.
Sure.
Go, oh, my gosh, data. What if data comes for us and it comes to get us? There was a really interesting article on, because one of the, you and I really haven't gotten into it on data centers, actually. We've kind of like danced around the edges, but we've not really talked about it a ton.
Yeah.
One of the biggest, if I were to ask you the biggest criticism of a data center, based on just a general feeling that people have about it, because recently Seattle City Council passed a 1-year moratorium, and they said they had like 56,000, I think, or 50-something thousand people expressing, we do not want data centers. We're nervous about data centers.
It was a record amount of public comments on any topic.
Amount of public comments, yes. So they were saying, no data centers, no data centers. If you were to...
The only voice for the data center was that robot thing with no human skin that came in with the red glowing eyes and gave 2 metal thumbs up.
I vote for a data center.
Thumbs up.
That's a good thumbs up,
Thank
robot.
you very much, yeah.
That's a good robot. What would you say is the number one issue that people have with data centers?
It would probably be the potential environmental impact that a data center draws with regard to water use and power use.
That's what I would have said too.
I would think environmental concerns would be among my top. Also, the impact on utility rates for a community, because when you got a big company coming in, sucking up some of the available power source.
There you go.
Yeah.
So to combat both of those things, I was looking more into this. Like Puget Sound Energy recently announced, was it Puget Sound Energy that they were requesting a raise
rate hike,
30% rate hike?
Something like that. It was equivalent to $10 a month for a year. Is that what it was for long? I
think it was more along the lines of $50 a month. Wasn't there one that was $50 a month raise?
Oh,
it was going to be $600 raise a year.
You may be right. Oh, wow.
Something around there. Anyway.
That's no small nut. That's a big number, man.
It's not a small amount. It's a big amount. And the reason that they listed that they were going to have to raise that rate is because they are, by law, in Washington State, required to comply with certain energy standards.
Yes.
That are arbitrarily set by politicians who come up with climate initiative standards.
Yeah.
And then they come up with these things and they say, well, we're going to be zero this or that. Damn the costs. We don't care. This is what we have to be. And then these energy companies have to figure out how to comply with that. And the only way to do that is they have to raise the rates on their utility
right. Well, they're users. You bet. They're customers.
They're customers.
Us.
So you are paying for an arbitrary number that some politician ran and got elected on and has now set into law. Like, that's what's happening.
Right.
So that would be something. And those rate hikes would be more than energy consumption hikes based on data centers from the things that I've read.
Okay.
So here's the other thing, the water. And that's if they're tapped into local power as opposed to some of the larger data centers, which oftentimes now will, because they don't want to deal with these hassles, provide their own power sources.
Yeah, self-power sufficient.
A lot of them would be solar powered.
Yep.
A lot of them would be
I think one of the
reactors.
One of the stated goals of the one-year moratorium of the Seattle City Council was to negotiate these,
study it,
and to study what the effects can be, study what kind of leverage the city would have with regard to what requirements they can have of any new large-scale data centers.
Gotcha.
And I was asking Mike Lewis. We worked together a week ago or so, a week and a half ago, and he's very schooled on this. Proximity with data centers is important. He called it there's a term he had for it, and I can't remember now. I had it a second ago. It's the lag time of a data center providing information, results of data being processed, and delivering that data through microfiber, right? So there's a lag time of even milliseconds can be detrimental to people. For example, stock traders are the best example.
Sure.
Right? Because trades that are made automatically at a certain number, when the computer hits it, and if you have even a half-second lag time, and get that number from the data center to the recipient, can cost millions and millions of dollars.
I actually have a buddy who is an executive at a company back east that does exactly that, where they're making these trades, and proximity to Wall Street, which is now actually proximity to Wall Street's different now, because a lot of these trading, whoever's trading on Wall Street, a lot of that is moving to like Texas. Texas is getting a lot of that now.
Really?
Because
data center proximity to traders.
Well, also because of taxes in New York. So anyway. So here's another thing that you mentioned also. Let's get back to the water of it all for a second.
Sure.
Seattle Red has a really interesting article on this, and they kind of dive into this water. They talk about it's basically like a misunderstanding. Like there's been a bunch of stories talking about how it's crazy, it sucks up so much water. This is from the article. I want to just read you a few of these headlines that they put together. This was at Seattle Red. Articles like AI chugs a bottle of water every time you chat with it, and quote, the dark side of data centers part 2, water guzzlers, give the impression that data centers are uniquely intense in their water consumption. Idaho's recently passed House Bill 895 claims data centers, quote, require significant amounts of water. Washington HB 2515 says data centers, quote, are also major users of water. Now, we value clean water here in Washington, obviously. We've got some of the best water in the world. Not at some of the elementary schools, but we've got some very good water. And what this highlights is he looks at this big data center that Meta is constructing in Idaho. And I'm going to read you a little bit of this because I think you will find this very interesting. Meta acquired the water rights for its center from the farmland on which the center is being built. Again, this is in Kuna, Idaho. The rights entitle it to 3.7 million gallons of water per day. Now, when we hear that number, that sounds like a lot, right?
Yeah, 3.7 million gallons of water, you bet.
Sounds like a lot. Okay. 2.5 million of which has signed over to the city of Kuna as part of the construction of a water treatment plant that Meta plans to donate back to the city. So this is where it gets interesting. They said this article talks about how 2 million gallons of water per day sounds like a lot, and that would be peak July, August, because that's when it's most
water
intensity.
use is at its highest, sure.
Well, and the heat.
Yeah.
When things are overheating.
You need to cool the data center. Okay, yeah.
So here's what he says. This is really interesting. The USGA's most recent state-level estimate recorded that Ohio withdrew 17 billion gallons of water per day in 2015. Crop irrigation, some of it done on land that data companies are now buying for construction, accounted for 86% of this total at 15 billion gallons of water per day. If this consumption total had not shifted significantly, the Meta data center would represent just 0.01% of Idaho's water withdrawals. And he goes on to talk about how it's basically like it's such a small percentage. It's like a third of what golf courses pull in. And nobody sits there and complains about golf courses.
How could you complain about golf?
And so it is. So basically what it highlights is some of the information that you're hearing about data centers, and maybe the Seattle City Council will discover this, and that would be great.
Yeah, and that's the moratorium gives them time to learn.
But let's not give into the fear mongering until we understand the realities.
So something to be afraid of, right?
Yeah.
Something to be worried about.
Is it really something to be worried about? Like, everybody wants clean water. We want to make sure they're doing it safely. But if it's far less than golf courses, which nobody's running and hiding from a golf course. We run to golf courses. We love them. Then
what if we put data centers below putting greens?
Done.
Right? You can
I'm right there.
Cool them.
Water hazard.
Cool them.
Suck it down.
I like it. See?
Yeah.
Solution oriented.
There's a solution right there. All right. We got a lot more coming up.
The
Stick
data
around.
center open.
That's a good
I see it
idea.
happening right now. Yep.
Spike's coming up with solves. Spike's solves. That's not a very good one.
Solve it.
Solve it. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Well, folks, the rainy season is behind us, so summer's coming. It's going to be here before you know it. In fact, a lot of people feels like it's already here. 90 degrees the other day. Is your home ready for the summer? Did it survive the winter? Call my friends at Integrity Roofing and Construction today at 206-202-ROOF. Schedule a free roof assessment, free video inspection. You can find them online at integrityrc.com. They can do everything from repairs to replacements, full house renovations. They've got a design team in-house. They can do it all for you, and they do phenomenal work. They're online at integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
John Curley here. When it's time to add or replace a cooling system, three things matter: who installs it, the quality of the equipment, and how it performs for years. For these reasons, I recommend Home Comfort Alliance, award-winning service, licensed experts, and installs they stand behind. Their carrier system leads the industry for efficiency, quietness, and dependable performance for years. And right now, save up to $3,000 in rebates. Turn to the experts, Carrier and Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
For many people living with hemophilia, everyday activities can sometimes come with a risk of unexpected bleeds, and over time can lead to lasting damage, impacting mobility and independence. Today, the conversation around care is shifting from bleed management to proactive protection and joint health. Experts say treatment advancements are helping patients maintain higher levels of clotting factor for longer, reducing the risk of breakthrough bleeds that can contribute to joint damage. While some approaches focus on less frequent treatment, doctors emphasize that protection between doses and maintaining sufficient levels of clotting factor may be key to helping patients stay active long-term. To learn more about a different hemophilia treatment option, visit managinghemophilia.com and talk to your healthcare provider about whether it is right for you. Sponsored by Sanofi.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver. From New Nordic, search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know SunBucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Big Trees is Washington's premier tree sales and transplant company. Looking for a big selection of big trees? Visit Big Trees in Snohomish or BigTreeSupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big trees.
All right, welcome back to the show. Trying to remember when it started that we would get Amber Alerts on our phones. You guys remember when that actually became a thing that you would get? You couldn't turn it off. It just was a thing that your phone would be, everybody's phone would just beep.
At the same time.
At the same time. Yep. It's a very surreal thing, actually, when everybody's phone goes off. You just kind of, but it's very effective. And I used to complain about it a lot because a lot of times it's some domestic dispute and it's, like an estranged father or mother who doesn't have custody of the kids, who wants more time with the kids or whatever it is. The kid isn't necessarily in danger. And then that horrible stuff happened with oh God, what's the guy's last name? I should remember this. Travis, who was the guy, Spike?
Decker.
Yeah, Travis Decker. Totally changed my opinion on Amber Alerts, and I was totally fine with them coming to my phone. Like the very minor inconvenience of having an Amber Alert, I don't care about that now. Because at the time, do you remember that they had requested multiple times that an Amber Alert be issued?
Yes.
And for whatever reason, they didn't alert the public that those girls were missing, and then we obviously all know how that ended up, which was just a nightmare.
Cellular alerts on the wireless networks began in 2023.
2023. Okay, I feel like it was recent. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so over the last couple of days, this would have been just Tuesday morning, like early Tuesday morning. So yesterday, there was a 6-year-old kid in Linwood who went missing. He apparently, this happened at, was it 2 a.m.? Is that when he was taken from his
10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Yeah, 10 p.m. there was a disturbance call to Snohomish County Sheriff's Office.
Right.
So a domestic disturbance between this individual and a mother. He assaulted the woman and fled in the car with the child in the car.
With the child.
An Amber Alert was issued at about 2 a.m. in the morning on Tuesday morning that this kid was missing.
But it did not make it to all of us.
We didn't get it. It was on the boards, on the roadways.
Yeah, websites would have had it, things like that. But it was not something that we were all woken up for.
To our phone, yeah.
So a lot of people are asking, now the kid has been found, safely returned to his mother.
Dropped off at a family friend in my neck of the woods up in Shoreline. At 5:30 next morning, people woke up to find the boy on their front lawn.
Jeez Louise.
I mean, this could have been horrific.
Could have been horrible. Deputies are still looking for the suspect, a 32-year-old Davy Johnson Garcon Donato. who's apparently the
domestic assault victim's ex-boyfriend.
Victim's ex-boyfriend, yeah. So the mother's ex-boyfriend. Why? So you looked into this. Why didn't we get an Amber Alert?
They have what they call quiet time. I think if I've got the right, quiet hours. Quiet hours. They don't send out cellular alarms for Amber Alerts between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m.
Okay. So they assume people are either going to be. I mean, I guess I understand if they're thinking that your likelihood, the point of an Amber Alert would be if you are out and about.
If you see something, say something.
If you see something, those are the least likely hours that you're going to be out and about and able to do anything about it. So I can understand why maybe there's a trade-off there.
Yeah, it's a calculated decision to not alert everybody in a cellular area, in an area of need. But I can't, I don't know, maybe it's just this was a 6-year-old kid who was abducted by a violent criminal.
Yeah.
You're trying to not inconvenience the citizenry. When you talk about a child's safety, okay, so wake me up at 2 a.m. with. Will I be annoyed? Probably.
And this was
might it make a difference?
Yeah, it might have.
I mean, you never know.
There's a lot of people on the road at 10 a.m.
You know, a guy who gets up in the morning and is heading to work, an early shifter, gets on the road 4:30 in the morning, can see this silver, which the vehicle is clearly is when the Amber Alert went out.
Yeah.
A silver Ford Fusion with a Washington State license plate, CVF 8854, still on the loose. By the way, this driver is still at large. This criminal still at large. Send it to my phone.
Yeah.
If I'm getting up and getting on my way to work, I want to know this.
That wouldn't bug you.
It would bug me, but I'd rather take the annoyance.
You'd probably wake up and go like, "What the heck?" And then you see it and go like, "Oh my gosh, that poor kid. I hope they find him."
Right. And
if I'm out and about and I see something,
if one person saw something before the 7 a.m. quiet hours were over, and could spot this car and get, because didn't know this kid was found,
or they could maybe change the hours. They could maybe do like, I would have no problem with them doing anything before midnight, and then maybe like between midnight and 4 a.m. Maybe they don't need to do it.
I don't think any hours off.
Maybe any
There's
hours.
never a bad hour to alert the public that a child is in danger. I'm all for annoyance. You know, people have the option of opting out on these things. Do they still? I think they do. You can shut off Amber Alerts on your phone. You can opt in if you want to receive Amber Alerts.
Compromise. Yeah, that's a good compromise.
I mean, if it's a kid's safety, a little bit of annoyance, small price.
There you go. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, my family's been committed to doing what's right. At Wilcox Family Farms, that means caring for our hens with healthy pasture environments and a diet of organic grains and flax seeds. It's how we produce eggs that are wholesome, flavorful, and good for you. Next time you're at an egg case in your local store, we hope you feel good about choosing Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Get more baseball for your buck with Mariners value options. Tickets for less than $12 to select games all season and the biggest ever value menu and beer lineup, featuring 36 items and available every game. Check it out at mariners.com/value.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest.
Muckleshoot. Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Details of the memo of understanding between the U.S. and Iran disclosed today. The 14 points include a 60-day ceasefire extension, the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, and talks on Iran's nuclear program to begin. President Trump at the G7 summit asked about $300 billion in frozen Iranian funds that could be released, and also allowing countries to do business with Iran.
We don't have to give them anything. But some people may want to invest. Like, what are you going to do? Say you can never, ever invest in a country? I mean, it's pretty tough. I don't mind being tough, but it's pretty crazy.
Federal authorities say after making 5 arrests in the failed drone attack at the UFC event at the White House, suspects remain at large and the investigation is ongoing. Residents in Gulf states now bracing for the first tropical storm of the season named Arthur. Life-threatening flooding is possible. And in the Midwest, severe storms on the march, including the threat of tornadoes in Illinois and Indiana. This is ABC News. A deadly private plane crash on a busy highway in Laredo, Texas last night. That jet heading to Austin from Mexico. 6 people were on board. 1 person died. The U.S., Mexico, and Canada co-hosting the FIFA World Cup. For one historic U.S. host city, overseas fans are creating a frenzy over suds.
Scotland fans have taken over Boston for the World Cup, and some of them told affiliate WCVB.
I don't think Boston realized what was coming to it.
It's been good for local businesses, but not for beer supplies. Sam Adams' parent company says its Boston tap room ran out of its signature Boston Lager over the weekend after sales were 4 times higher than usual. Company says it resorted to an emergency delivery and added extra deliveries throughout this week. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Luigi Mangione back in a New York courtroom today in the state case of the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO. The judge says Mangione's attorneys plan to argue he was suffering from extreme emotional disturbance while carrying out the crime. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Coming up, a big rate hike proposal by Seattle City Lights. That's one story we get to after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
And this is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Southbound 405, we're heavy now in South Bellevue down to the Renton Landing. Thins out a bit after Factoria. Bellevue to Renton, we're approaching 25 minutes. North 405 is heavy through the S-curves. South Center to Bellevue, just under a half hour. Here in Seattle, northbound I-5, just past the West Seattle Bridge. We've been working with this collision on the right shoulder for the past hour now. That right lane is still blocked, but it looks like a tow is finally arriving on scene. We've got a hefty backup starting at Albro. South 5 heavy from Northgate to I-90, 25 minutes from Linwood in the downtown. And South 5 through Federal Way starting to fill in between State Route 18 through that Fife curve. Subaru of Puyallup has dependable, fuel-efficient all-wheel drive models, including the redesigned Subaru Outback. Find stress-free pricing and offers at SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. King County search and rescue crews were already on Mount Si yesterday when a black bear attacked a group of 3 teenage hikers. Sarah Altio is with Search and Rescue and tells KIRO 7 TV crews got up to the group in just 12 minutes.
We had a team, Seattle Mountain Rescue, at the top of Mount Si doing some technical training. When they heard this page go out to our teams, they were able to quickly pivot that team from a training to an active mission response.
KIRO News Radio's Lou Ducey reports one of those teens was clawed by the bear.
They were about almost 3 miles up the trail near the summit when they say a bear charged them and they scattered. It could have been a situation with a mama bear and, cubs.
These are non-life-threatening injuries. All trails on Mount Si now closed as Fish and Wildlife continues its search for that bear. 6 people are in jail. 13 women and kids are getting help after a Seattle police operation on Aurora Avenue. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun reports.
Seattle police say 10 women and 3 minors were found being sexually and financially exploited around Aurora Avenue over the weekend. Those victims were helped by the county's Human Services Department to get them somewhere safe and to provide some basic needs. And they say the 6 people arrested are charged with felony offenses.
Seattle City Light customers are staring down some steep rate hikes. Utilities proposing back-to-back rate increases of 9.5% in 2027 and 2028. Typical residential customer would see their monthly bill rise about $10 a month each year. The 6-year strategic plan is being presented to a city council committee today. Full council votes this summer. It is one of the most anticipated sporting events in Seattle's history. Team USA versus Australia in the World Cup at Lumen Field this Friday. Former Sounders play-by-play voice Matt Johnson tells KIRO News Radio's G. Scott.
These are mini Super Bowls, right? A, the price, B, the passion, the importance, and the sound.
If you want to see the match in person, you will need to pay at least $2,000 for the cheapest seats. So your forecast now, we are looking at sunshine this afternoon and again for the rest of the week. Mid-70s today, upper 70s and low 80s Thursday and Friday. Right now, 68 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour left to go. Lots of stuff to get to. Spike, I was out busy doing some stuff, refilling coffee, but right when I came in studio, Aaron was talking about World Cup ticket prices.
Ticket prices for the USA-Australia match on Friday at Seattle Stadium. A sharp increase since just a week ago. A week ago, you could have probably found a ticket for $1,200 for the cheapest seat. Now it's over $2,000.
A lot of money. That's a lot of dough.
That's a lot of dough for, once-in-a-lifetime experience.
What's the max amount of money that you would drop on a World Cup ticket? And it would have to be for Team US. Like, you're not going to go see anybody besides Team USA.
That's funny. I could probably see better teams than Team USA if I'm going to see, Brazil. If I'm going to see Argentina with Lionel Messi, who yesterday scored 3 goals, his first ever hat trick in World Cup play at 40 years of age.
Insane.
He now has 16 lifetime World Cup goals, an all-time record. It was his first match in World Cup play in this 2026 World Cup. He'll clearly break the all-time scoring record in this World Cup.
He's unreal. Yeah.
But I would pay more to see Team USA than I would pay to see the best teams in the world because of the sense of pride and patriotism.
You're a patriot. That's why. Let's talk for just a half second about the fans. Who were the fans that have really made an impression on you? Because I have a dark horse that I did not expect to appreciate so much that I'm now seeing a lot of.
Oh, okay.
And it's not the one that you're going to say, and I know who you're going to say, but go ahead and tell me about yours.
Clearly, the Scots, the Scotland fans, the Scottish fans that have made their way to America. And the Scots overtook Boston. We mentioned this earlier in the week. The Tartan Army, is that what they call themselves?
Tartan Army.
They not only were they at, I think I sent Mike a little clip. Play that real quick and
I got it here.
Folks a sense of what we're talking about.
There's no curses or anything in this?
I can't. No.
Gosh, I hope not.
No, there's no.
No.
It's a crowd. You take the high road, I'll take the low road.
This is great. This is in Boston?
This is at Fenway Park.
Oh, man.
During a TV timeout. And they had to resume the game with them singing through. They wouldn't stop singing. They sang, I Would Walk 500 Miles, a Scottish band, the Proclaimers.
Yeah.
That thing, they made the mistake of playing that during the intermission.
You know what?
Oh, my gosh.
Scotland fans are great. I watched a video of again, like you were saying, they drank Boston under the table.
They drank Boston
which is
dry.
impossible, but they somehow accomplished it.
That's Aaron just reported on that. He said they ran out of Samuel Adams Boston Lager. Drank them dry.
This is how much of a gripe the Scots have against the Irish. They're like, we're gonna drink you out of house and home. So I watched a video of all the Scots singing "Take Me Home, Country Road."
Oh.
In a bar in Boston. It might have been Boston. I don't know. Maybe it was somewhere else. But it was like all these Scottish fans in this great rendition of Take Me Home, Country Road.
Yeah.
And that's the part for me. I've been watching as much World Cup as I can because I really do enjoy it. But the fun part is all the social media stuff. And what I'm seeing a lot of is Europeans who have never experienced America, and they have gotten an idea of what America is based on how America is portrayed in the news and in the news media across the world.
Yeah, and it's not just recent events either.
Never favorable.
Never favorable.
Never favorable.
Yesterday we played that Japanese fan.
But they love America.
They love America. We played that Japanese fan yesterday. It reminded me of something that I experienced really early in my radio career, and I hadn't thought of in 30 years. President Bush had a very unsuccessful trip to Japan. I think it was the second Bush.
Why do I remember this? I mean,
somebody threw a shoe at his head.
The shoe.
So he puking on himself. Bush did after a bad meal, and there was something happened. But the morning show I was working with Bob Rivers and Joe, we wanted to make sure that the Japanese citizenry, the everyday Japanese citizen, had understood what America was. We wanted to get their take on what they thought of America. We called a convenience store in Japan.
Oh, live on the show?
Live on the show.
What a great idea.
Joe found an English-speaking convenience store operator, a guy working alone, and we had him on. Koichi Usada was his name. City fell in love with him. He was our correspondent. We talked to him regularly. We flew Koichi to America.
No way.
We did. We flew this guy to America, and we took him on a tour. He wanted to do 3 things in America when he was here, right? He wanted to drive a Corvette. We got him, I think it was Sunset Chevrolet, got us out there, and they put him in a brand new Corvette. Koichi drove a Corvette.
What's his last name? Osada?
Koichi Usada.
Usada. Okay, that's great.
Koichi wanted to drive a vet, shoot a gun. We took him to a range. Feel Rocky Punk. I mean, it was
serious.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the tape's out there somewhere on the ether now.
Now, if you get to number 3 and it's not a Scent of a Woman type situation, I'm going to be upset.
It is. He went to kiss a blonde.
Are you serious?
I swear that was the 3 things. That's all he knew about America: Dirty Harry, drive a Corvette, shoot a gun, kiss a blonde, and we got to do all those things. We brought him around. We met thousands of listeners.
What a fun!
It was great.
Where'd you find the blonde?
They came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I bet.
They came out of the woodwork.
That's fantastic.
Koichi I haven't thought about that wonderful young kid.
If you have not heard this interview, this is from yesterday. We're just talking about fans that we love so much. This went viral. This was in Dallas. Fox 4's reporter was talking to a Japanese fan who was in town for, I think it was Japan-Netherlands game, which they tied 2-2. And then they went viral because the Japanese fans have a tradition when they go to international games and on the World Cup stage. They've been doing this since 1998. They will clean up their section, like every single drop of trash, popcorn bit, soda pop lid, no matter what it is. They bring their own trash bags and they will ferry that trash out of the stadium as a way to show respect for welcoming them into their stadium.
As a visiting fan base,
So that's what they did. So they caught up with one of those fans and had a great interview. He doesn't speak a lick of English, and she obviously doesn't speak Japanese. Or
English very well.
Yeah.
She's not far behind him.
And that didn't stop him from having a great interview.
Wonderful.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, how you doing?
My name is...
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Hirochika Nakakuki.
Oh, wow.
It's live?
Okay.
It's live?
Yes, it's live, baby.
Yeah.
How excited are you?
Yeah.
You were so excited, right? Japan, right?
Excuse me.
Okay.
I cannot speak English, but I'm excited!
I love it! Yeah, baby! Let's go!
Japan,
baby! Look, it's lit. It's lit.
he's
Okay, what are we looking at? Oh my gosh, can you tell me what this is? We're looking at his back.
I love Japanese people. I mean, internationally, there's a lot of countries, like we're watching a Croatian-England game right now. I don't know if I'd have a ton of interest in going to Croatia, but...
The fans, look at them. Oh, but that's the beauty is.
But Japanese fans are just like the warmest, nicest people. Croatians are probably great.
They seem
I'm sure
great.
they're great.
The Belgians that were in Seattle for the opening match here on Monday.
The walk down they did.
The
stadium.
Egyptians, fans that were here.
Egyptians,
that's
walked
the thing.
like the Egyptians.
It's a multicultural experience of World Cup soccer.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's the plus for this city.
The people that I've been really, the algorithms that
you said you got a dark horse fan favorite now.
The Norwegians. The Norwegians are doing the Norwegian longboat row everywhere. They're doing it up escalators.
Show me that video.
They all sit on escalators and they row like they're on a longboat. And then I saw one the other day where they got all these fans together, none of them Norwegian. They were just like leading this giant row in. They all sat down on the ground, wherever they were at. It must have been like Dallas or something. I don't know where they're at. They were all sitting on the ground, and then they did like their clap, and then they all rowed, and they're rowing. And they look like idiots, but they were idiots together, which made it fun.
Teamwork, baby. Unity.
So we have
the world coming together.
Team USA versus Australia.
Friday. Yep.
That'd be fun to try to get an Australian on the phone. I don't know, the language barrier would be a problem, but...
You know, there's a doubleheader Friday because the World Cup game kicks off, the match, I should say, kicks off at noon at Seattle Stadium. And then at 7:10 that night over at T-Mobile, there is a Mariner-Red Sox game.
Sweet.
Right on the heels.
Pretty awesome.
Now, I know that they closed down the match perimeter. It's a pedestrian-only area around that stadium for World Cup play.
Just for match days, but not for T-Mobile?
They will open up the streets. They will open up the parking garages for Friday night's game with the Boston Red Sox and the Seattle Mariners.
Awesome. Very cool. All right, let's move away from World Cup for just a minute. This is positive. I want to give Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown some applause here. Recently, we told you that news story. You remember that story? It was out of Puyallup, and I think it was just like a week or so ago.
The harasser.
The harasser.
Yes.
So Let's Go Washington is collecting signatures right now. They have an initiative that they're trying to get on the ballot. They're trying to get enough signatures so that the voters might have their say in whether or not we want an income tax in Washington State.
Trying to repeal the millionaire's tax. Recently signed into law without any public input.
Yes.
Well, that they listened to. There was plenty of public input. They ignored it.
They just tried to ignore it. So Let's Go Washington has been collecting signatures, and I'm going to go on their website here and try to find out an update on how many signatures they have.
Because they had a record number in the first week.
First week they had a bunch, and as of right now they have. Can you find out, Mike, how many they've got? I want to say it's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 317,000. It's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it already technically is.
It's enough to get on the ballot. They wanted a cushion. Right.
You have to make sure that you have at least like a 380,000 because a lot of those are going to be double. Some of those are going to be double. Some of those are going to be contested and challenged. And so you have to have at least, I think it's, did you say 308,000 is the number that they need?
308,911.
That's how much they have right now, 308,911?
Yeah.
So how many do they need to get on the ballot?
They were, I think it's
308.
I thought it was 308. I think they were pushing for 400 as a cushion that they would like to see signed.
Yeah.
And for challenges and duplications, they were expecting 700,000. They're talking about setting a record.
Yeah, they want to get a million signatures.
People are so passionate about this. And that's why we got the story today, because people are passionate about this signing this petition. They've been flooded with requests. Let's go, Washington. Flooded with requests for people saying, where can I sign this? Can you have petitioner come to my area?
So here's what happened. This was like maybe a week ago or so, and a real piece of crud. I don't like to use strong language like that, but this guy seems like a real piece of crud. He goes up to a signature gatherer at a Safeway in Puyallup and steals the signatures, which had, I think, 20 or so signatures on the specific sheet that he had taken. And then in the video, it looks like he assaults the signature gatherer, who's a woman. So a real tough guy, this guy. Let me play you some of that audio and tell you how it sounded. This guy was eventually found because the signature gatherer pulled out her phone, follows this guy back to his truck, is filming his license plate. I don't know what he thought was going to happen, But he gets found and was then arrested and is now being charged. And here's a little bit of that audio.
Don't do it. Yep. Give me these boards back. These people want to be.
Just petitioning outside
these people
illegally. And we have no. So you want these, or do you want me to take them?
So he has now taken these. He goes inside to Safeway, tries handing these off to the manager, saying it's illegal, but it's not.
You cannot take those. What are you doing? Call the police.
Here, there, it looks like he shoves her back.
Call the police. Call the police. Call the police.
How about not petitioning when you're not supposed to, huh? Yeah, you can't read.
The cops are letting me stay.
The cops are. You're not above the law.
Alderwood case lets me be here.
Alderwood.
Yes.
No.
Can you imagine? I'm just going to pause this for a second. Can you imagine this guy? What his life must look like, that he feels like he needs to walk up to this woman who's out there trying to let people have a voice in an income tax. What does he have against somebody who doesn't want to have an income tax so badly that he has to rip it away from her and then tell her she's doing something illegal, which is not?
Well, I hadn't heard the Safeway generally prohibits signature gatherers as a company policy. If there's a sign on their building that says
I got to push back on that.
I don't know if they. that's what I'm reading here.
I've been in front of 2 Safeways in the last 2 weeks that have had signature gatherers out front and have set up tables. And every time that I go by one, the first one, I pulled over my car with my kids in the car and I stopped and we all got out and we went and I signed it because that's the first opportunity I had to sign one. The second one was about 3 days ago, and there was a nice lady in front of it, and I stopped by and I said, hey, I just want to thank you for spending your time on a weekend collecting signatures for this so that we have the opportunity to make our voices heard. She says, thank you very much.
I'm glad to hear it, yeah.
So I don't know where you're getting
I'm seeing from a quick review on Google here. This is according to the Seattle Times. So Safeway in general prohibits signature gatherers from operating on private property. Safeway does. There have been challenges to this legality in Washington and California. To the extent to which it's a company policy, but it's not a law.
Safeway can make a decision.
Whether or not they have. And the guy says, "Can't you read the sign?" Sounds to me like there may be a sign where this lady is. I mean, otherwise this guy's lost his mind. He should first off, don't ever get aggressive. You don't have any right to assault somebody. Our whole point of this was that the state's attorney general has written a letter out to local municipalities and law enforcement communities saying, we will, as the state's attorney general's office, work with you to prosecute anybody harassing or assaulting.
Here's what I would say to you about this guy. And again, private property, case-by-case basis. It sounds very much to me, based on what I have seen, like these people have been given permission to do these things.
Yeah.
But it's private property. Where does this guy step in? And now he's the arbiter of what is private property and what Safeway is saying that these people can or can't do? He's now stepping in and saying, I'm going to just assume that you can't do this, so I'm going to rip it away from your hands.
Yeah.
The correct and proper thing to do would be to go and make a personal complaint. If he has a real problem with it,
right.
Go and complain to Safeway.
Does indeed have a petition or a sign up that says no gathering.
Safeway can take care of it. If Safeway wants to call the cops on this lady, they're welcome to do that. If Safeway wants to send a manager out and deal with the problem, they're welcome to do that.
This guy wasn't acting on Safeway's...
He's not a Safeway employee.
Okay, yeah, this
he is just a rando guy that went up and did something horrible and got arrested for it. And thank God, because you shouldn't be intimidating people who are out there doing something that is legal that they were doing. Do we want to hear more from him, or do we want to just get straight to the Nick Brown thing?
Let's go. He's a loser. We've already highlighted him enough, I think. I mean, guy's got overstepped his bounds. She's not violating. First off, she's not violating a law.
He seems like
if she is in direct conflict with Safeway's private company policy against signature gatherers.
That's something she takes up with Safeway.
That's Safeway's business, not his.
Safeway. He does not go and
assault somebody and destroy private property. This signature that this petition that she's getting signed.
Yeah. So this was Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown. He sent a letter to 39 county prosecutors and 250 municipal attorneys offering assistance to protect the rights of this woman, the signature gatherer, and other people like her. And I think he's planting a flag here that's really smart for him to do.
Hi, I'm Nick Brown, Washington State Attorney General. Want to take a minute to talk about a critical part of our system here in Washington, where people have a voice in their democracy, and that's through initiatives and referendums. And if you've been paying attention these days, you might have seen people walking around with a clipboard like this, gathering signatures for various initiatives. I've also seen reports of people being harassed or assaulted when they're gathering signatures, and some reports of those signature gathering petitions being ripped up or destroyed. If you're doing that, knock that off. Don't with our democracy. We need to protect people's right to vote. We need to protect the right to gather signatures, and we need to protect people's ability to get involved with their government. Now, if you're out gathering signatures for an initiative or referendum and you believe that you've been a victim of a crime, please contact your local law enforcement agency. They have the authority to investigate and prosecute those cases.
So in this case, the woman did look for prosecution. She
Good
found
for
it.
her. Good
Pierce
for
County.
him. Man, wow.
Here's the smart thing that I think Nick Brown is doing. I'm going to just a 30,000-foot view of this for a second.
Okay.
I think he's a very political guy. We've had him on the show. Yeah. We've talked to him before. I don't agree with a lot of his political stuff, but I do like that he was on Survivor. Here's what I would say about Nick Brown. I think he is reading the writing on the wall correctly, that this thing is very toxic. Nobody wants this so-called millionaire's tax / Washington state income tax to be shoved down your throats without the voters getting a chance to have a say. This will probably, in my opinion, this will probably be the thing. This will be Bob Ferguson's very short time in office. This will be his legacy. Jamie Peterson has got a good chance that he's probably also going to lose his job because of this. People hate this. And if Nick Brown is smart, which I think he is.
Sounds like he is.
I think he is now positioning himself to be on the side of people, if he were smart, because also the Attorney General's office also did help in the construction of the language, which led to them writing this in as an emergency clause, which actually took the people's voice away from this. He would be very, very well advised to, going forward, try to be the guy who's defending people's rights to have their voices heard, and distance himself as much as possible from the Fergusons and the Petersons.
Well, as Washington's duly elected Attorney General, he represents the citizens of Washington, not just the ones who agree with him.
So he's also required by law to do this?
Absolutely. I love that he is doing this.
This is what he's required by law to do,
yeah.
but he should also be outspoken about. Yeah. And also, if I were him, I'd take a step away from the Peterson and the Fergusons, because I think he has a longer career ahead of him than they do. All right, we have a lot more coming up. Stick around. Bear back.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer means that I have a laundry list of exterior home improvements to tackle and very little time to do it. Fortunately, the team in the red van, they've got me covered. Of course, I'm talking about Valentine Roofing, the pros that keep me off extension ladders and precarious positions. If your summer home improvement list, like mine, has a new roof, maybe siding or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. Once again, they've been awarded the best in the Pacific Northwest for roofing by the Seattle Times in 2025, and it comes down to two things: exceptional customer service, and they've got the best product, which is backed by a lifetime warranty. And you can get that customer service too. They call it the Valentine Experience. That's seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down, 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing today to schedule your free estimate. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explain this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Wildfire emergency in Spokane County.
We know we've lost some structures. We don't have a confirmed number as of right now.
That is Spokane County Fire District 9 Commissioner Brian Mather. He says they don't know yet what sparked the upriver fire yesterday. ABC's Alex Stone is in the fire zone.
Over 2,300 homes are in the path of the fire. Hotels are full of evacuees waiting for word on the fate of their homes.
At last check, the fire was 10% contained, burning about 300 acres, fueled by strong winds and dry conditions. A fire that tore through a Kenmore home this morning is under control. KIRO News Radio's John Repp reports from that scene near Northeast 191st Street and 68th Avenue Northeast.
Eyewitnesses who got there just before me said they heard a couple of loud explosions as they were seeing the initial flames and the smoke coming up. They don't know what it was, but just from looking at the house, it looked like there were a lot of things that were cluttered around the house. It took firefighters a good bit to work on this and to knock it down.
No injuries reported. We don't know yet what caused that fire. Customers are being welcomed back inside a notorious McDonald's on 3rd and Pine in downtown Seattle. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun has more on that.
Over the past multiple years, the area has become a crime hotspot with random attacks, shootings, and drug arrests. It got so bad, McDonald's blocked the doors and only provided service through a window. Now, customers can walk inside a newly remodeled entryway for the first time in years. You can still only place to-go orders.
Sound Transit says it lost logged 210,000 boardings on light rail Monday when Seattle hosted its first World Cup match between Egypt and Belgium. Makes it the third busiest day for the light rail system. Sound Transit expecting even bigger crowds on Friday when Team USA plays Australia, and the Mariners play a game at T-Mobile Park as well. Time now to go to the real-time traffic desk with Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. This one brought to us by the KIRO Newsradio App. Let's start you up in Everett. Eastbound 526, we are packed leaving the Boeing plant over to I-5, and then North 5 heavy from 526 up to Highway 2. Very typical backups for this time of day. South 5 heading into Seattle, heavy from Northgate to I-90. Plan on a 25-minute trip from Linwood into downtown. North 5 is heavy at the Michigan Curve in the downtown. South 405, typical backups between 520 and the Renton Landing. It's 25 minutes from Bellevue to Renton. North 405 is heavy from South Center through the Renton S-curves. Seattle to Federal Way is a 35-minute commute. And Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway already at 40 minutes. Heavy volumes south of State Route 18. Text APP to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Got blue skies, sunshine, and pleasant weather today. And again for tomorrow through the rest of the week. Going to be nice. Right now, 70 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. A couple bits of audio we want to play and discuss. Hillary Clinton, we're going to hear from in just a minute. She's speaking out about Joe Biden. This is not nice, what she said about Joe Biden.
I haven't heard this yet.
I'll play this for you. It's this is a tease of what she says. This is a tease. This is how it basically sounds. Oh, my audio's off. That's my bad. This is what it basically sounds like.
I've made a huge mistake.
Okay, that's just a tease. That's Arrested Development.
Okay.
All right, we'll get to Hillary Clinton in just a second. I want to play this cut real fast first, though. Did you watch Better Call Saul? Did you watch that show?
I love that show.
Is that better than Breaking Bad?
Hard to say. Breaking Bad may be one of the best shows ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Better Call Saul could be, for some folks, it was a better show. Might be the best spinoff of all time.
That's a good thing.
That's
a great way to say
all
it.
Time.
I think that's probably the best spinoff. That character too, the Better Call Saul. The reason I'm talking about this is the Bob Odenkirk, who played Saul Goodman.
Yeah,
he put out a video celebrating America 250. He's sitting in his office. He is
as Saul Goodman. Yeah.
And who and if you haven't watched the show, Better Call Saul is like a cheesy
strip mall lawyer
who'll
do anything to win.
Who's got one of the giant blow ups, like
inflatable waving
inflatable whatever on top of his building.
Want to sue somebody? Tell me about your life. I'll tell you who to sue.
100%.
Yeah.
And anyway, this is a little video that they put out. I don't know the reason for this other than just to promote America 250. But this was Bob Odenkirk as Saul Goodman, which must have been fun to go back to. But this is a little bit of that.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know you have rights? Well, you do. Sure, they're old-timey. They were written by a bunch of guys in powdered wigs and knee socks. Boring! But believe it or not, they're still surprisingly relevant. Your rights include, but are not limited to, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of the press, freedom against unreasonable searches and seizures, etc., etc. Wow, you lucky so-and-so. Look at you got rights coming out the wazoo, all because a whole bunch of good people, 250 years worth, sacrificed everything they had for this awesome wallpaper behind me. Know your rights. And for the love of Mike, don't ever give them up.
I'm Mike, and I approve this message.
That must be Mike Ehrmantraut. Is that the guy's name? Those characters are just so great.
God, so great.
I think you're right. I do. So I will agree with you. I think Breaking Bad is a superior show because it's the original.
Yeah.
But
Bryan Cranston was just a force of nature in that show.
Yeah.
Some of the best acting of all time.
But Bob Odenkirk as Better Call Saul, that spinoff was just genius. Because when you watch it originally, when you watch Breaking Bad, you don't think to yourself, hey, you know who would be a great character of his own show?
No, he doesn't.
Super great arc.
He doesn't scream leading man.
No, but he is.
No, he's phenomenal.
What is it about Bob Odenkirk that's so great? He can do anything.
He's so versatile. So versatile.
You seen Nobody? Have you guys seen Nobody?
Oh,
I seen Nobody too.
Nobody too.
It's good. It's good. I was making a joke, but also it's a fun movie.
Great movie.
That's one of the best movies ever, especially if you're if you're a guy of a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody just, it hits hard, as they say.
There's a lot of nobodies in this country who, when I say that, I mean a lot of people who feel unseen, unrepresented in this country. And
who are secretly CIA agents.
Well, we can all relate a little bit to the guy.
Yeah,
you know?
he just feels like when you meet him,
he's no different than me. Of course, he's got fears of special. He's got some training.
It's
he's
so
ruthless.
Great. Such a fun.
Well,
Kill with a spoon.
While we're on the Odenkirk tip, I have a movie recommendation for you guys, though. That it came out earlier this year. It's called Normal. And Bob Odenkirk is a sheriff in, he's like the one good guy in a bad town.
I saw the ad.
It rules. I liked it quite a lot. I saw it earlier this year. It came and went in theaters very quickly. It's probably on demand by now. But if you like Odenkirk and you like Nobody and Nobody 2, check out Normal. It's a good watch.
Normal. I'll check it out. Okay, this is not normal. This is Hillary Clinton.
Speaking of nobody.
Talking about Joe Biden. Her feelings about this are normal. These are what most people felt about Joe Biden.
Okay.
But Joe Biden running in the state that he was in, many said it was not normal. And she was talking to CBS recently, and she had this to say about Joe Biden's re-election campaign that he ran, and unsuccessfully, obviously. And this is what she had to say to CBS News.
He made a terrible mistake. He made a terrible mistake for himself, his legacy, and for the country. He had said that he would not run again. And, counterfactual narratives are always a bit tricky. But I believe if he had kept to that plan and said in, say, the late summer of 23 that he wasn't going to run, that he was going to pass the torch to the next generation, we would have had a real contest. And very sadly, I believe whoever emerged from that contest, whether it was the vice president or a governor or a senator or anybody else, would have beaten Donald Trump. So I think it was a terrible miscalculation on the part of President Biden. But once he didn't move, and did
Couldn't
not
move.
Admit that he had said he was going to step aside and then decided not to, and held on for as long as he did, we were in a terrible dilemma.
Terrible.
I've been saying this for 3 years. I've been saying the exact same thing.
About Joe Biden?
Biden ran as I'm a one-term president, said when he ran in 2020.
Yeah.
He said, I want to just get back to normal. I'm fighting for the soul of America. I want to bring back normalcy and decency.
Yeah, I remember.
He should have said at his inaugural address, should have been, I ain't running for re-election, and it's not necessarily her.
Well, she pointed that out. He did say that at some point during his presidency, that I'm not planning on...
Well, no, yeah, he did, but then he got talked into by his inner circle. I don't think it was his family.
It was
and First Lady Jill.
It was all the hangers-on who were like, you like this power.
Well,
let's do it again.
To be fair, I mean, you can disagree with the priorities, but he got a lot of things done in the first 2 years of administration. They got a
Not
lot
that
of things.
he knew it.
Well, maybe he didn't know it. And you're right about that. We'll never know how deep in that pudding he was.
I'll tell you who was the most accomplished in that presidency was that Otto Penn, for sure.
Oh, come on with the Otto Penn.
You know what's funny about this, though, is I do think it's interesting how she's kind of saying, like, he made such a terrible mistake. And she's like, how about we all agree that it's the worst mistake that any president in the White House ever made?
I thought about it. I can't think of a worse thing you could do.
There's nothing worse than any
under
president.
the desk or in the alcove between the offices.
With anybody,
right.
Nobody could have possibly done anything as bad as
without
this
a
terrible
cigar.
mistake.
Nobody did anything this bad.
Do we all agree on that? They're like, no, we're not agreeing on that.
Maybe second. He came in second.
So, yeah.
But once he stepped away the way he did, and gave
he did not step away.
Well, once he was forced
once he
out,
was chased out.
Once he was forced out necessarily, the money that was committed to that campaign could only go to the ticket, the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden ticket. That's the legal realities of that moment they found themselves in. If they had opened themselves up to an open primary at that juncture, all the campaign infrastructure that was put in place, all the funds that were raised, could only go to Harris. They really tied their hands. He tied their hands.
We don't have time to get into it now. We should argue about that sometime.
Sure. Yeah,
I would disagree with that, but.
And the fact that she was nobody voted for her was the albatross that hung her. That could have been the difference in the race.
Yeah, I agree with you on the final point that it did not work out well for Joe Biden, and I agree with Hillary. that it was a terrible mistake. But I don't think it was the worst mistake that was ever made in the White House.
No, I agree with you on that one. Yeah, she is really trying to, over here, woohoo. Something cobwebby over here.
We got a lot more coming up. Let's do some text messages next.
Recently, my aunt had surgery, and she was home the next day, as is often the case. But we weren't sure as a family if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that my aunt deserved. So we called my friends at Aegis Living and asked about respite care. That's short-term care at an Aegis Living facility. 2 days, 2 weeks, whatever's needed. It provides 24/7 expert care, all the amenities of an Aegis Living community, and the peace of mind my family and my aunt deserved. Go to aegisliving.com/spike, schedule a visit to a facility today, ask about respite care. That's aegisliving.com/spike.
Take me out to big trees, take me to see the leaves. Privacy screens and evergreens, you already know they have thousands of trees.
Big Trees for tree sales and transplants. Find Big Trees in Snohomish or bigtreesupply.com.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
I was walking my dog. I fell and ended up with 3 tears in my meniscus. I was sent to a surgeon and they said the only way to get this fixed is to have surgery. That just wasn't an option. I didn't want to jump into surgery without trying anything else.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We offer Jamie an alternative to the downtime and potential risks associated with invasive knee surgery. At Sound Pain Solutions, we help patients like Jamie avoid the side effects of painkillers, cortisone injections, and pain following surgery. Our comprehensive approach includes treatments like pressure wave, PRP, and advanced laser. These treatments reduce pain and restore mobility naturally. Now Jamie is able to do everything she enjoys without pain.
I'm grateful for being able to wake up every day and not be in pain. To be able to go about my day has been amazing.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free joint treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
John Curley here. Who installs your new cooling system matters. I recommend Home Comfort Alliance for 50 years of award-winning service and top-quality Carrier products that deliver years of comfort. Save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts for 34 years. Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Get a no-pressure consultation from a real person, never an AI bot. Web search Best Mortgage for honest advice you can trust.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub with exciting news. Our mid-year clearance event is on. You'll score big savings on all in-stock saltwater hot tubs and fabulous saunas. Plus, deep discounts on newly released floor model swim spas. These deals are incredible. But don't wait. Our mid-year clearance ends June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
All right, welcome back to the show. A lot of text messages. Let's start with bear attacks. You can read about bear attacks on the website. I teach you how to survive a bear attack if you go to mynorthwest.com. But let's start with some bear attack texts from Mike.
Oh, sure. Let's start with Joey. Bear spray is your friend! !
I heard that.
Yes, it is.
Rick
Make
says,
sure you point in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Away from you. Clearly marked, folks. Rick says, I run into many bears in my day, grizzly and black in Alaska, black bear here in Washington. I carry a firearm capable of stopping a bear if need be. Never had to, though. The victims being teens gives me some reason to believe that they really weren't super smart and I'll add this, prepared to see a bear.
Yeah. And no one really is. I mean,
I know.
We had Luke on earlier talking about this. He's absolutely right. Even though it seems crazy to do, you should prepare for what you would do
if you're going to enjoy the wilds of the Great Northwest. Be prepared.
I had this stat earlier, but it's worth repeating. Your odds of being attacked by a bear are 1 in 2.1 million. Your odds of being struck by lightning are 1 in 15,000. So just, keep those things in context. And all right, 42406. Don't forget about Rainier beer pallet in your backpack. Rainier beer pallet. I don't get that.
I don't know.
I was thinking that was a reference to like a Rainier beer commercial or something. I don't know.
Okay.
You
I don't know it.
give beer to the bears. I don't know. I just assumed you guys knew.
Soothe the savage beast.
There you go. There you go. Let's the 206. My son took his dirt bike up to Walker Valley yesterday and ran across a black bear and her cubs. He said she chased him, but he got away since he was faster.
Okay, so the thing is, with the black bear, you're supposed to fight back.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on a dirt bike, I think it's safe to say, just run away.
Yeah, right away.
Right away. If you're on a dirt bike, I agree with that one.
On Jake's Scared Straight story, Jamestown and Eastlake says, if you remember the story, Jake, you were waking at 2 a.m, went outside, saw some young
punks knocking over garbage cans, and I had to give them a lecture.
Jamestown and Eastlake says, yes, you do want to lay into them. Those little latchkeys are never going to learn anything if you don't set your standards.
Alan says, make sure there is also a mitt near the bat when you grab it. Otherwise, you could get charges with premeditated intent or some such nonsense. Always check with an attorney first. Here's what I would say.
Throw the ball around.
Here's what I would say.
Gotta get into sports.
There was a ball and a tee nearby because I was out there to play baseball.
Right.
No, but honestly, I didn't know who I was going to encounter. It could have been some crazy person who was doing like a crazy person. When I saw it was children, obviously I lowered the bat and I didn't intimidate them with the bat.
Right. Shannon in Duval says, Jake, good move to take the bat to investigate at 2 a.m. Could have been bears! ! To tie it all together.
You know what? It could have been a bear.
If you'd have hit a 13-year-old with bear spray, you'd be I'm serious, you'd have been in deep trouble.
Probably.
That's kind of assault. Yeah. That can be.
What if they're knocking over garbage cans?
Hey. I'm not saying they'd be right and you'd be wrong. I'm just saying it's very litigious society.
Maybe the kid wasn't lying to you. It's like, oh no, that somebody else knocked it over. Turns out bears. Whang, knocking over cans. Whang, knocking over cans.
Joni in 253 says, Jake, you did a great job handling the situation last night. You may have changed the trajectory of those kids' lives in a good way, of course. Sometimes the actions you take have a ripple effect in ways that you may never know about. Thank you, Joni. I hope that's the case.
I hope so too. I loved your story. On pellet home villages, Fernando in Seattle says, I hear what you three are saying, but I'd rather have the city vet the people going into those tiny home villages than just cram people in that might ruin it for everybody.
Yeah. Fernando, I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
We become dear friends on the text line, but I will say this. It's a no-barrier housing.
Yeah, they're not really vetting people.
They're not really vetting much. I mean, think about the different things that they allow you to move in with.
And do when you're in there.
And so why do they only have 5 filled? This doesn't make any sense to me.
Let's move on to David Centers, data centers. David in Seattle. This region is already number 1 in technology. Top 2 might as well stay the course with data centers. Not to be confused with David Centers.
The water article that we were reading earlier about like the reality of how much water they use as compared to other things that people are not scared of, like golf courses and farming. I do think is a really interesting part of the conversation. If you guys missed it, check it out.
We said off air, we kept talking about it when the commercials hit. I think it's the fear of AI and the pushback against AI.
That's true too.
Data centers are getting just washed with that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's the boogeyman.
Doug in Mount Vernon, 56,000 Seattle area residents using Claude or ChatGPT to compile a protest letter to the city. That's funny.
We need more data centers, write more protest letters.
That's hilarious.
Ben from Mercer Island says, is there anything in the article about what water being recycled for cooling these servers?
So that is a possibility, too. They do have recycling options.
Reclaiming the water.
They also use
yeah.
dirty water for some of these things. There was a piece in the article at the very end where it talked about if you do have water cooling some of the power sources that might, power these things, all of that added up would account for like 163 billion gallons of water in a year. And that would still be like a very, very, very small percentage of the water that's used compared to farmland.
425 says no way golf courses use 1 million gallons of water per day. That was an aggregate number. That wasn't like per golf course, not 1 million gallons a day. But you had quoted some numbers about golf course water usage.
Well, they would use 3 times the water that one of
data
these
centers would.
Data centers would.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's talk about World Cup. Ben from Mercer Island writes, Scottish invasion of Boston. That is a beautiful man! !
I wonder if he meant that is beautiful, man.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he heard
talking about
somebody
one specific
heard
man
somebody in
that
that
he
crowd
finds
that really,
beautiful.
warmed his cockles, as they say. 253 says, did you see the DR Congo team?
Yes. I watched that game this morning as I was prepping for the show. They played against Portugal, and
the Congo fans. I guess he's referring to about the fans of World Cup.
Well, no, the team.
The team itself.
They tied Ronaldo's team.
Wow.
So it was 1-1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but DR Congo, which looks like Dr. Congo, but it's not. It's DR Congo.
The Democratic Republic of Congo.
All right, last one, Spike. Pick it.
On signature gatherers from Shane and Gig Harbor. Gig Harbor Safeway has the no signature gathering sign right at their store.
That's, again, private property. They can decide to do what they want to do. That's totally fine.
And Scott in 360 says Safeway in Bellingham also has a no signature gathering sign. Our point being, even if there's no signatures allowed of a private business, that's the business's deal to make with the petition gathering.
Yeah.
No one should assault or harass a signature gathering in the state, and the state's attorney general will put you in jail if you do.
Totally agree. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Lots of fun. We will be back here tomorrow. We got a lot more. John Curley's coming up next. Have a great day. See you then. Bye-bye.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800.